Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and now I'm here with River Brown, Andrew Velez, and Joe Dehls. It's now episode 345. In this episode, we are going to talk about OKC's title chances, if this year is different for Philadelphia, ranking top 5 duos in the East, hot and cold teams, and more. This is now episode 345. And boy, NFL divisional round is up next. Prize picks. We got some entries.
I'm looking at the stream. I'm not in it.
Why not?
It's just Riv, you, and Joel. I'm looking at YouTube right now. It's just Riv, you, and Joel.
What the hell?
Oh, yeah. Hold up. What's happening there?
Yes. This is what you needed? Well, let me see if I can zoom out.
I see you.
I see you too, bro.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
I'm not tripping, though.
He's not. What if you made YouTube full screen?
This guy right here, man.
Do your job, man.
It might just be him, though, because mine's is full screen. And mine's wasn't
All right,
full
we're here.
screen. That's
First time you.
Let's go. You worried me for a bit.
Dude, I didn't. All right.
I was confused too, but then I saw it on there. So
That's what I looked
wasn't
up here.
worried.
As soon as I looked at the stream, I'm like, I'm here. Why can't I see myself here?
There was definitely a lot of reassurance in the room that your computer was the one that was off.
I'm happy.
Yes.
I'm happy about it.
Okay, so thank you to everybody watching the show. Last show was a very successful show. We had a jam-packed show. 3-hour episode. I feel like we haven't done that in a while.
3.5.
3.5. That's the first time we've done that in a while. I think that's just to flex our arms a little bit, that we got the stamina to still do long shows.
I definitely fell apart a little bit during the tour conversation.
Yeah, me too.
But outside of that, I was there.
Yeah, I could see that.
To be fair, that was like 40 minutes of a 3.5-hour show, so it's a good part.
That was a good part. But we also talked about a lot of different other things too.
We did.
Yeah. Prize picks entries for this weekend, NFL divisional round weekend. I got 2 prize picks that I'm going with. The first one is Jordan Love, more than 251.5 passing yards. I have the Packers upsetting the 49ers. If that's going to happen, then Jordan Love has to have a great game. I have full belief in Jordan Love, and I think he will have a great game. I'm going to go with more passing yards, 251.5. And Isaiah Pacheco, 15 rush attempts. You got the Kansas City Chiefs playing on the road at Buffalo. It's going to be a cold, snowy day. They're going to run the football a lot. I got Pacheco, 15 rush attempts, more than that.
Yeah, that seems free. I'm going to stay within that same game of the Packers and the Niners. I'm just going to go with the guy in the backfield, Aaron Jones, who's had 100 rushing yards in 4 straight games. But I'm just going to take his regular line of more than 69.5. Again, 4 straight games of over 100. This one seems pretty calm. The Niners' rush defense is definitely a little bit vulnerable, and the way that Aaron Jones has been playing, I fully anticipate him having himself a baller game. And then, of course, never in doubt, Lions versus Bucks. I'm riding my guy, Amon-Ra St. Brown, who has just been a menace, had himself an amazing performance in the first round against the Rams. It's going to continue against the Bucks. You saw what Smitty did. Now wait for what Amon-Ra is going to do to that Bucs secondary. More than 93.5. I'm expecting nothing but an amazing game from Amon.
I am going to stay in the same game of Green Bay versus the Niners. I actually have 2 of those. I have Deebo Samuels over 39.5. Oh, excuse my language. Pardon me.
More.
Deebo Samuels more than 39.5. I got to get used to that. And then I also have Christian McCaffrey more than 0.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns. I think Christian McCaffrey is probably the easiest one. You know, he's been probably an MVP this year, Offensive Player of the Year, no doubt. And I think Brock Purdy's going to have a good game. If he does have a good game, it leads to those 2 guys, you know, playing good. And then for the Sunday game, the only one I have is James Cook, more than 39.5 rushing yards. You mentioned it. It's going to be cold, damn near freezing, might be a little snow out there. What the Bills have done is they've been able to have a balanced attack, and that's going to lead to James Cook having a good game. I do expect the Bills to win. So those are my lines.
If you use code PAYES, you can get a 100% deposit match up to $100. So go to the link in the description, put code PAYES, and sign up for Prospects. It helps us out a lot. I don't think we have officially given our NFL divisional round predictions just as a whole. They were kind of scattered within the episode. It took everybody kind of long to get to it. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to make it clear, concise, who we're picking this weekend, and if we got any changes, because me personally, I do have one change that I'm making to my predictions.
He's going to take the Lions over the Bucks.
I am taking the Lions over the Bucks.
He got scared when he heard the idea of Bucks versus Packers NFC Championship. And I respect it. I'm not talking shit, but definitely I would have reconsidered that.
What made you change?
It's because I sent that graph and Jared Goff was fucking elite at it.
No, I know Jared Goff is an elite pocket quarterback. for me, what changed my mind is just the Lions are a better team.
They are.
They're a better team, and I'm not.
Just like the Niners.
The only
are
upset
better.
I'm going with this week is the Packers. That's the only one I feel
And the Chiefs.
confident in.
Chiefs are an
They're
upset.
the
They
Bills
are
are the favorite.
underdog.
according to the books.
But I would never classify the Chiefs as an underdog upset pick.
Bring it out, Riv.
I would never
it out.
do it.
Yeah.
I would never do it.
It just never fails, you know. Even in Buffalo, they can't even. They still got to be. I get it though.
It's Mahomes, man. He's never lost in this round. Why are we gonna make him the underdog?
He's
First
never played
time
on the
on the
road.
road,
He's
too.
never
Yep.
played on the
Making
road.
it be
on the
clear,
road.
I chose the Chiefs, not Mahomes. In this game, I chose the Chiefs, not Mahomes.
I chose Buffalo here. I think Kansas City's win over Miami just a little bit fake. The dominance they showed just a little bit fake. I think
was
Buffalo. I think
coldest
Buffalo
game in
was
NFL
playing better
history.
football down the stretch in the regular season. I know Pittsburgh. It should have been a bigger score or a larger, win for them. But Kansas City kind of struggled with Miami there too. It was like a 10, 11-point game in that second and third quarter. So I'm going with Buffalo here.
We'll be happy to be wrong there. We'll be
Yeah.
thrilled.
It's my last hoorah, man. I'm going Buffalo Bills Mafia.
Last
man.
hoorah.
This the last one, man. Now I do think
The jig is up after
Yeah,
this.
yeah, I do think them being home though gives them a really good advantage. Them, being one of the hottest teams coming into the playoffs, and they have to beat the demon. They have to beat a team that's pretty much owned them in the playoffs. We've always been talking every year, Bills, Chiefs, top of the AFC, and then the Bengals kind of jumped the gate ahead of the Bills, and they've never really they never got to get back to that that AFC Championship game. So I think Bills this year, if it's gonna be a year, it's gonna be this one. So I got the Bills.
All right. Do you want me to just go through all my picks real quick? All right, because I'm going with the Chiefs. Unfortunately, I am going to go with the Baltimore Ravens. Wouldn't be upset to see an upset in that one either, just because C.J. Stroud has been so box office. I'm definitely going to take the Lions over the Bucks, and I'm taking the Niners over the Packers. That's going to be another great game, though.
I gotta give credit to John. He's the one that made me switch my mind on the Lions and Bucks pick. I was talking to him earlier.
John's the one that made you change
Yes,
your mind.
John
this
is
shit's
bright.
cooked, bro.
John is
bright.
smart.
He is
John
a
is really
bright kid.
smart.
Bright
And
man. My apologies.
we was talking. We was on my podcast. We was
He's
talking,
a Steeler fan.
and he was
How
just
bright can
telling
you
me he's a Steelers fan. He's really
How
bright.
bright can you be?
He doesn't want Mike Tomlin. That's bright for me.
Ty
I
Ty
feel like Mike
Washington.
Tomlin's the issue there.
Ty Ty
I
Washington.
think
Never
not wanting Mike,
Blockbuster move from Washington.
not wanting Mike Tomlin on his Steelers. I think is a ball nowhere opinion.
Imagine taking a victory lap on a team trading for Damian Lillard. I told you the Milwaukee Bucks won the offseason.
That was insane.
John has had so many more good takes than that.
He
though.
has.
But what did John say specifically?
He was with you in the Jordan Goodwin shit too.
His
There's
best
a-
take in my eyes for football was Rashid Shaheed.
He
That's the
cooked.
one.
He cooked.
Rashid Shaheed, he got it.
He also said Devin Duvernay though.
He did.
So
He did.
What are we
1 for 2.
trying to disown John?
No, just listen. We're making him a part of the show. We got to belittle him somehow.
Now, John, yeah, he talked me out of it because there's just some stats that he was reading out that kind of made me lean to the other side. And then we kind of did these rankings of upsets most likely to happen. Number 1 for me was the Packers over the Niners. Number 2 was the Texans over the Ravens. I think the Texans match up better with the Ravens, and that could be more of a closer game than the Lions and Bucks. And then when I got to 3, because I don't count the Chiefs as an underdog versus the Bills, so I didn't put them in this list. When I got to 3, I was like, okay, the Bucks are the last one. Am I really going to put my faith in this team? And I said no. It was always close for me. I'm going to lean with the Lions. Last week, I wanted to pick the Lions, but I thought the Rams would just win, and I was wrong. So I'm not going to doubt them again. I'm going to go with the Lions.
You want to go through the rest of your picks, and then I'll go.
I got the Texans against the Ravens.
Damn.
Oh shit, I'm tripping. I have the Ravens against the
Somebody
Texans.
got to do it.
Should I?
You should do it.
Should
That's
I?
okay. It's the playoffs, bro. Go with your
should,
emotional. Go with your vibe.
You know
Go
what?
with your vibe.
Yeah.
Come on, that's your twin. That's CJ. CJ
You're right.
special too.
Ravens wins,
Right.
be like, well, he told me to.
No, I can't do that. I got to stay smart here. I got to stay logical and smart. I got to stay. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens because I did think they would be, one of the teams for sure. So I got the Ravens beating the Texans, and then I got the Niners beating the Packers. I really do believe that's the easiest
dog
pick
shit
of all
out
this.
of them,
I wouldn't say dog shit, but the Niners to me just feel like the easy money. They're going to the championship team. You
I
know.
want to get disrespectful.
He's cursing them.
No,
I'm scared.
I'm
scared.
You can't do that with the Niners. And then I got the Lions over Tampa Bay, and then I got the Bills over the Chiefs.
I like that.
I got Baltimore too, San Francisco, but I do think Green Bay, San Francisco, that's the biggest upset to me.
He wants to
I
come
think-
to the other
I
side.
think
Do it,
I have more
Dehls.
faith in Buffalo to take care of business against Kansas City than I really do in this game. I feel really strong about Buffalo and not as strong about San Francisco, but I do think they win. And I got Detroit as
Let me
well.
ask you, what's so great about Buffalo? What's so great about
They got
them?
Josh
I
Allen.
think it's a mix of
And the
Josh
Chiefs
Allen.
have Mahomes.
Josh Allen's playing
Down
better
the
this
stretch,
year.
though, I really did not believe in this Chiefs offense. And even going into the playoffs, I was
You actually are going to answer that dumbass question?
What's dumb about it?
Sean McDermott, what he's been doing with this defense, with
Defense been
all
great.
the injuries.
Balanced attack
Sean
on
McDermott
offense.
is scheming up at a different level right now.
Josh Allen can will you to victory. He
Yes.
can pick up those 3rd and 15s. I know Mahomes can too.
It ain't gonna be
I
like
know
your boy
he can
last week.
too. But I
It would
just think
never
they
be
would
that.
play
It ain't
really
gonna be
better.
like his
It'll
boy
never-
last
it'll
week.
never be
It's not
that.
gonna be
It'll
like
never
that.
be that.
This will be close.
Like the game versus Pittsburgh?
No,
That game wasn't close.
It was a touchdown game in the fourth.
I understand the score, but if
I
you,
feel the same way about Kansas City, though. It wasn't in the 4th, but in the 3rd quarter, it felt
16
like the
to 9.
Chiefs should
I'll
have
be
been up 3
honest,
touchdowns.
watching the Bills and
It was
Steelers game, you never
26-7
thought the
with
Steelers
the
had a
fourth.
chance.
They never
the
felt-
Steelers never had a chance in that game.
I agree. There
You
was
always
never a
felt
thought.
Bills were in control the whole game.
It was a touchdown game. Pickens definitely should have got that
That's
PI
you being
call.
optimistic.
I was
You're very
rooting for the
optimistic.
Steelers,
human
but
being.
I knew
wasn't
they
a-
never
it
had
was
a
close.
It was
Really
never
close.
like you never thought the Steelers could do it. It was never that vibe. You was just like, when are the Bills going to kind of start blowing them
I
up?
wouldn't have been mad to see the Steelers win.
Of course, you needed that
actually.
after you blew the division.
I would have been furious if they won.
Right.
That would have been a bad playoff
It would have been
game.
hilarious. Would have been lit for John. See, comes full circle into supporting you, John. You're welcome. You didn't see that coming.
The Buffalo Bills, they are phenomenal. The Chiefs and Bills is a coin flip game for me. It really is.
Ravens will be both.
That's possible. The Ravens are the best team standing.
You saw what Lamar said?
What they've done.
No,
on resume.
what?
Lamar said, I'm getting old. I got to get a championship soon.
Respect that.
Legend.
I respect that. If there's one year, it's a year for Baltimore's this year.
I agree.
This is the year.
I agree. The Chiefs' offense is not that prolific. And the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen's turnovers could be any game.
Maybe I read this incorrectly. Is it true that Lamar Jackson only has one loss in the NFC in his career?
I think.
It's 1 or 0.
Yeah.
I know it's one for sure because I know the team. Do you know the team?
That's great trivia.
I know the team.
The team Lamar lost
Don't-
to in
don't
the
say-
NFC.
I won't.
Don't
I
say
won't.
anything. Okay, let me.
I'll let
me,
you all get a guess also.
Let me think about NFC North.
Don't
teams.
look at your computers because people most definitely will type
Is
it
it the
in there.
Bucks?
It's not.
Oh man, this is difficult. I feel like
I'm not going to give any hint either.
I'm thinking of teams that I've seen Lamar Jackson. The Giants. The Giants.
Oh, last year.
Last year. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the Giants.
Tell me
For,
stop playing
with
with
Brian
me.
Dable.
I was gonna say the Saints. I ain't even gonna cap. That was in my head.
Come stop playing with you.
Dude, the interception in
Daniel,
that fourth quarter.
Daniel Jones. That's the only loss against the NFC. With
That win has
Baltimore.
done nothing for him.
That's not true. Got him $40 million a year.
Did get him
That's
40
the
on.
They
problem.
get paid.
That's
Got
the
him
problem
80
right
guaranteed,
there.
actually.
Yeah.
Stop playing with him.
My
He's
predictions-
21-1. I knew someone would send it.
My predictions are the Lions, the Packers, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. Those are my predictions. And I changed from the Bucks to the Lions. Lions NFC Championship, Green Bay.
I was excited when he took the Bucks. I was like, oh, yeah.
I was
that's an easy
hyped
one.
too.
It's like, that's an easy
I was
one.
like,
Come on,
okay,
Detroit.
we're here.
You can't count out Baker Mayfield. He's only lost to Mahomes in the playoffs, really. That's it. He's only lost to him.
No, it was
No,
a
no,
back. It was
Chad Henne.
Mahomes, one half of Mahomes is better than a full game of 99%.
But what's funny about it is
Oh
that
my
Chad
God.
Henne iced the game.
I'm glazing crazy. But he deserves
Yeah, I
it.
know. I'm glad that
99% was
you know what,
nuts.
bro?
He deserves
For
it.
once, the self-awareness, I'm cool with it.
That's growth.
At least you went out and said, yeah, you
I've
got
always
me.
been self-aware about Mahomes. Come on, now what are we talking about here? The first topic
break.
of our show, and before we actually get to the first topic, the merch has
soon.
been
We're here.
delivered
We promise.
to
So
get
soon.
screen printed. We should have it back in 7 to 10 days. The drop date for the merch will be February 3rd at 1 p.m.
Happened to February 5th.
February 5th is a Monday. I'd rather drop it on a Saturday just so I could
What
ship
about
it
Friday?
during the weekend.
We had this whole conversation in the whip. Man, God
Right.
just sent me a message.
I feel like Friday's
February
drop day, no?
February 5th.
I think so.
Because I was thinking about it.
For most places.
I was thinking about it, and I feel like with merch, especially, I'm gonna be on this packaging it. I want to package it during the time where I'm not busy.
God just said I'm not going to help him. There's no respect for me.
No, he helped me yesterday.
No,
but-
I'm gonna help you with the packaging too.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if we're gonna be packaging, Monday is not a free day for me. I'm busy. I'm really busy Monday.
Monday's the day of the pod. Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday, I like to package it. So we drop Saturday, you get all the orders, and then I use Sunday to package it, and then
All right,
Monday,
we're here.
just go to the post office and drop it off.
I only said because you said God sent you a message. That's the only reason I was like,
God
all right,
sent you a
February.
message.
Facts. Me and Drew was driving to the warehouse yesterday where they was gonna screen print. And when I shouted out the merch and I said, this is the day we're releasing, I just sporadically just said February 5th. I didn't even know why I said it. I was like, God was speaking to me in that moment.
Okay.
I just said it. February 5th, that's when we're dropping. But now February 3rd. I like number
I'm cool
3
with
too. I like number 3 too.
He's firm.
But I just want to make it known to you guys that the merchandise is limited, okay? Like we only have 60 total hoodies. We got more sizes and some like large and XL than we do in medium and small, just based on the percentages that you guys voted for and the sizes that you guys wear for merch. So just letting you guys know, we're going to put a mailing list. So you put your email in there. And once the merch drops, an email will be sent to you and you can enter the website and you can buy the merch. But just letting you guys know is limited. So y'all got to be first
Also,
to it.
realistically, we have 59 pieces. 59 because I'm going to be paying for one for Santos. Because
Awesome.
I say that with the idea that he just sent the message saying, "Can Drew wear mine?" Funny enough, that bastard. But yeah, I'm gonna take one out of there and give it to Santos.
Awesome. Damian Delgado in the super chat goes, Riv, good to see you 2 days in a row.
That had me crying.
Ant Lochran goes, Joel, are the Heat still a top 2 team in the East?
Did you say that?
You said they
Second,
were a top 2 team?
I don't know if I said top 2. I said that they could contend with everybody, though. And I think they still can. I think you don't have to get too wrapped up in the seeding with Indiana. I mean, not Indiana, I'm sorry. Well, you don't got to get wrapped up in the seeding with Miami. But the top teams in the East to me are the Celtics, the Bucks, the Heat, the Sixers, 4. And I feel like all of them right now got a shot at knocking each other out. I think those are the top 4. A team that could potentially sneak in, we're going to be talking about later, that I think at least. Topic 1. Riv, I want to...
I did not like how you said that shit.
Riv, I want to put this topic to you.
Didn't say what?
Topic 1.
First topic of the show.
There we go.
Let's get
Topic
into it.
1, can OKC win the NBA title? You've been a fan of SGA. You still are a fan of SGA. You sent us a video the other day that made us believe that you're more of a fan of SGA, maybe in different ways.
Yeah.
But Riv, what do you think about OKC?
SGA's he's a different type of dude, man.
Those skims are comfortable too.
Yeah, I
Don't
keep
get it
hearing I
twisted.
keep hearing good raves.
I'm
and
here, yeah.
I'm pretty sure
You got him on right now?
I don't.
that
Would have
I
I
loved,
told you
showed you.
script for
would
the
have
show.
loved to see him modeling.
I'm pretty sure everybody at the table, for most of us, watched last night's game against Utah.
Yep.
And so you got a little glimpse of just like the shit SGA does. Like his ability to get to his spot, no matter who's in front of him. You know, his pace, his control of the game. Nobody can speed him up. Nobody can slow him down. He really just works at his own pace. And then a couple games before that, like against the Clippers, how he works on the defensive end regardless. You know, you saw he had 3 to 4 fouls, and he still was able to work and, give effort on that defensive end. So those just showcase the type of two-way ability he has as a guard. You know, whether we classify him as a point guard, a shooting guard, whichever, he's top 3 at either position. You know, if he's a shooting guard, he's the best shooting guard in the league to me. But I think this question is interesting because it kind of it's like, can they win the NBA title? I don't know. I don't think this would be the year that they can do it. You know, and,
Why not?
And because I think there's teams I think the Boston would give them a run for their money. I really do believe that. I think Boston right now, in terms of just the experience, the continuity, the way they play on both ends, the fact that they are a big team offensively, they're great. Defensively, they can get into it too. I think Boston is better, and I think in the West, between them, Minnesota, Denver, you got the Clippers who just beat them. There's so many. I don't know if I'm missing anybody, but there's so many great teams in the West at the top of that tier. It's really like, what if they do face Phoenix in the first round? Is that a comfortable they'll get out of that? I don't know. What if they do match up with the Lakers? The Lakers match up well with them. So in the West, it's such a crapshoot. I don't know if I could easily say they can win the title. I can look at their roster and think, I think they're not ready yet. I think they still need some size in the back end. I think in terms of a team that leads a little bit more playmaking, I do believe that. I think sometimes they get into these spurts where they go too many ISO, and they need a little bit more ball handling. I do think they need another year of Chet and J-Dub, another improvement year. Both, I think J-Dub is for sure on the way. He's looking like a star in the making, and him and SGA are going to be great over the road. But I do think they're still a year away. I think this year is really going to be a year where they, either they lose in the second round and maybe they get to the WCF, which would be a grand success. But I don't think they'll win the title this year. But I do think they're primed for a really, really good experience trip in the playoffs.
Am I crazy for thinking they're not a year away?
I think they meet all the requirements to be a championship team. I do firmly believe that. You have a top 5 offense. You have a top 6 defense. You have the top 10 player. You have a superstar on your team, SGA. You have fringe elite two-way play. Let me say just a great two-way center in Chet Holmgren, of course. You have the great third option in J-Dub. You have 3 to 4 great role players. What more do you want? You have a potential Coach of the Year candidate. What are they missing? That's really why I look at this OKC team, and I understand youth is on their side, and some could say that goes against them. But youth is all over the NBA. Some of the best teams in the league right now have youth on their side. I'm not going to use it as a knock to OKC, especially when they're so ahead of the process. And we see them competing, against these top teams in the league. And some games, of course, they fall a little short, but then other competitions, they go and they meet the task. To me, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, they meet all the requirements. So why can't this be a championship team?
I feel like they are. There's not any team in the West that I feel like they cannot beat, and I feel like they can beat 80% of the West in a 7-game series right now. The only teams that it will be a crapshoot 50-50 are the Nuggets, the Clippers, and the Timberwolves.
And the Lakers.
Those are the only ones that really matter.
Those are the ones that matter, but
Lakers.
they will get a top seed. Right now they got a top 3 seed, and they're still in the mix for the first seed. I think they can beat Phoenix. You know, what we're seeing right now, Phoenix still has to figure it out. I'm going to give them about 15 games or so before I come to a conclusion about what I think about them. But just given their history with injury, given the fact that they don't have a point guard, the defense is going to be an issue. I think OKC's better. I think they're better than the Lakers. I think they just have a more efficient style of play. They're a team that is efficient at all levels. They can really shoot the ball. They could defend.
Lakers are 2-1 against them this season.
The Lakers are, it might be a great matchup, but I think in the playoffs, the 3-point variance will be a difference for that team. The OKC Thunder are legit, and SGA, the moment won't be too big for him. I watched SGA play against players that we say are better than him this year, and I've come away from those games saying SGA was the best player on the court. That's happened a few times this year. That's even happened against top-end superstar guys that I didn't think I'd be saying that about.
Yeah.
You're say
Yeah, we know who you want to say.
Who am I talking about? Do you know who I'm talking about specifically?
I think we do.
Can you name him, Dehls? No.
It was the guy you said that Ant Edwards is better than.
Does he wear green number 0 on the Celtics?
Yes.
Yes, it
Hold
is.
on.
SGA did outplay him. He's outplayed other people too.
Almost came back.
He outplayed Luka, I think, when they played. He outplayed Luka too. SGA is just that type of caliber of player, though.
Is.
That's
He's
what
elite.
I'm trying to say. And if you have that player, you can go really far.
I agree.
You can go far, but this team is still so young. SGA 25 years old, and all of those other contributed pieces, most of them are like 20 to 22 years old, whether it's Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Cason Wallace, who had some clutch shots down the stretch last night. He missed 1 3. They went 4 for 5 or 5 for 6 from 3. And Jalen Williams, I feel like throughout these last couple of years, of course, he was a rookie last year, but at least these last 2 years, he's always been thought of as like the third option. You even just mentioned too, Drew. I don't think that's wrong to say because Chet has been spectacular. His first season in the NBA, he's been uber efficient. Of course, defensively, he's fantastic too.
Unbelievable.
But what Jalen Williams has been doing these last 15 games makes me think that there's more to him than just like an elite 3-and-D type player.
Agreed.
Well, you saw last night where he could get downhill and be physical, but then also have a soft touch at the rim, soft touch in the mid-range. These last 15 games, he's averaging 22, 6 and 4, rounding up there with 2 stocks. He's shooting 64% from the field and 61% from 3. The efficiency has been insane, and he looks smooth when he does it. He looks like a much better player from last year, especially on the offensive end. You put out a poll earlier today about Jaylen Brown and Jalen Williams, and I swear to God, last night I thought the same exact thing. I think Jalen Williams has a bigger frame than him, so he could be a bit more physical, but that was the sort of vibe I was getting, just someone who's super athletic, can get downhill, but also pull up from the mid-range, have a 3-point shot, and he's only 22 years old. So if Jalen Williams continues to progressing like we've seen this season, SGA, Jalen Williams, and Chet, there's a legit chance they could be running this Western Conference for multiple years. That's how special this trio is. But I just don't know this year at their age. Listen, SGA's been in 1 playoff series with the Thunder. He hasn't been in a playoff series when he's been this good either. And then you have teams out west. I still think the Nuggets should be the favorite. What they've shown last season, being able to go through the West, win the championship, and this season maybe they're not first, but they're within a game or two of the first seed. And for the most part, they've still been that same team, dealt with some injuries, but the Joker's been fantastic. MPJ's been good. Jamal Murray when he's been healthy. KCP, all of these other parts, Aaron Gordon, when they're healthy and on the court, the continuity, similar to what you're saying with Boston, the continuity, connectiveness, and just their history in the playoffs, I would side with the more veteran team. But the Thunder feel like there could just be literally 1 or 2 years away from really going on a run in this Western Conference. We've been saying it for a while with the draft picks and young talent, but you really see it coming to fruition now. And last night against the Jazz was an insane game for them.
I think the last time we've seen a team this young go on a run, if I'm not mistaken, is probably the big three in OKC.
Yeah,
Prior to
right.
that, Kevin Durant, Harden, Russ Westbrook, they went out there, they beat the Lakers, they beat Dallas, I forgot who else. They beat the Spurs, if I'm not mistaken.
And the year before, they lost to the Lakers in the first round.
So that was the last. They had a learning curve, and with OKC is going to be a little different because they don't necessarily like the playing is the playing. You know, it's competitive basketball, it's playoff basketball, but I wouldn't consider it a learning curve. You know, and I think that OKC is missing that. It could be just they jump up to the WCF. You know, it could be they fall in the first round, but I think this year is going to be a great learning curve for them regardless of who they play because, you know, like Dehls mentioned, you still got to respect Denver and what the Joker can do. And I think the Joker, what he would be able to do to Chet in a 7-game series is going to be tough for him, you know. And then you got the Clippers who can go small, go big. You still got to worry about if Kawhi is healthy for a 7-game series. That's a problem you got to figure out, you know. And then you got James Harden and Paul George playing ball. You know, that's another one. Then Minnesota, you know, that size, that physicality, that type of team. So it's a lot of matchups, very matchup dependent that can go either way. You know, you still can't forget these other teams that you may be better than, but these are still 6-7 game series. You know, the Kings, 6-7 game series. Dallas, 6-7 game series. Like, these are still other teams that you gotta get out the first round. You can't just look away from them. Like, these are teams that could upset. So, you know, experience does matter. You know, but like you mentioned, SGA is a star, so we expect him to translate. But this West is so tough. It's hard to say one team can just go win it. You know, because right now looking at the West, it's so tough right now. But like I don't know, and then like I feel like whoever comes out the West this year is gonna have trouble with Boston, anyways. So Boston's gonna be that team to really do it. And then if Boston and OKC match up, I think Boston is just a better team.
Honestly, that Minnesota matchup's not one that if I'm OKC or honestly even Boston, with all due respect to, I do believe Boston is still the best team in basketball as we stand right now. But that Ant, Jaden McDaniels, Cat, Rudy Gobert, of course, Mike Conley at the 1. That is a lineup that matches up.
Fucking Reed, bro.
And Nas Reed
my
off the
God.
bench. I mean, it's really just an unbelievable group of 6 players that could go up against any player, any team in the playoff setting. That Timberwolves squad, of course, you have to respect the Nuggets as they are the reigning champs. They kept their core together outside of a Bruce Brown. You know what they're going to be come playoff time. We see what they can do when they are healthy. But that Minnesota 6, I mean, it is so versatile offensively, defensively. That is a matchup that I do look at if you are OKC. I don't know how. I think that would be an amazing matchup. But at the same time, if we're just going strictly off of requirements, OKC meets every single one.
They do. Last night, Nas Reed had this one sequence where he went down the court, posted up, hit like 2 pump fakes, went up and under. Then on the next go around, he hits a 3 in the corner, just back to back. I'm like, oh my, he's doing this shit like 6'10",
Let me ask you,
handle.
don't we call Minnesota a young team also?
Of course.
Yeah.
But do
like
you
half
think
and
do you
half.
think that Minnesota matches up better against OKC than the Denver Nuggets?
I think Denver would probably be number 1 for sure, just for the idea
No, I
that
think OKC would probably be a bad. I think Minnesota's a bad matchup for OKC.
both. I'm thinking both, but he's asking me who's more of a bad matchup, the Nuggets or the Timberwolves.
They're just big, both of those teams.
But it's Cat and it's Rudy Gobert.
Chet is fucked regardless.
Yeah, he is. He is.
He doesn't have another dude there.
And then Aaron Gordon, Jokic. It's going to be tough.
A classic case of winning bias has got to me. So
Why?
the OKC Thunder beat the Mavericks 126 to 120.
Luka at 45.
SGA had 17, 3 and 9. Luka had 36, 15 and 8.
Yeah, we kind of let you pass. You didn't have to go back and say that. You know,
No, I know.
Just had to make up
That's
for
for the
his Luka
audience
mistake.
because I know people are going to comment, yo, no, Luka outplayed him. You ain't watch it, so it's like just winning bias. SGA took over the fourth quarter.
If OKC played Dallas right now, what would be? Like, do y'all think legitimately OKC would come out that series comfortably?
With who?
OKC Dallas?
Yeah.
I think they win in.
I think
6
OKC
games.
wins.
You think they win?
It's Luka. You know,
That's
that
it's
type
like
of
that.
stuff.
Even that one. That's
disrespect.
a. You got Luka. You got
But
Kyrie.
as a whole, OKC is a better team.
But I don't think the better team always wins per se.
That's the thing, though, is that like as great as Luka is, SGA is
Kyrie right there.
phenomenal. Kyrie right there too.
Yeah.
Kyrie can take over.
The thing is, like, the better regular season team doesn't always win.
But I think
Yes.
they're a better basketball team, not just regular
Offensively,
season
defensively.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
team. OKC and the Mavs, really?
But like he's also
I think if you
said,
get into a 7-game series, right,
It's Luka.
everything
I
gets
understand.
different.
That's why I said
Are
Are we
Six.
gonna, are we gonna
I'm giving
start
them
saying
2
it's SGA?
Yes.
I gave Dallas 2 games, and I'm not that high on Dallas, but Luka,
Yeah,
I
that's
know in
true.
the playoffs can take over.
2.
Luka
He
can get
took-
you. Luka
he
can get
took
you too.
Paul George and Kawhi to 7.
I know. I said 6. This
Yes, you
round.
did. You did.
Both times, and it was up 2-0 one of the
I was
series.
about to say 5, but I gave him a little.
I mean, if
respect.
Luka could give you 2, realistically, Kyrie
He'd give
could
you 3.
then
He'd give you 4.
But then
no.
you have SGA on the other side too, who you
You
guys
do,
have been calling
you
a
do.
top 5 player.
Nah, no, for sure. But he got to do it in the playoffs. Even though I think he will,
His
Luka
first-
has shown me.
His first taste of playoff-esque basketball, though the playing, like you mentioned, win or go home, up 30 on the Pelicans and moved on.
When SGA was playing on the OKC team Thunder for the first time with Chris Paul,
He was all right.
when they made the playoffs, he wasn't bad. He was solid.
Like in the
he
middle,
was like
yeah.
a second, third option. But I kept thinking to myself when I was watching the game that if he gets a jump shot, he can be a star. He can be an all-star player.
Got that jump shot.
He's always been able to break down a defender, and the mid-range shot has always been a great shot for him. It was really that 3-point shot, and he didn't have to take 5 or 6 of them. He just has to be efficient at shooting it so defenders can respect it. That was a series that really opened up my eyes to he can be an all-star. I didn't see what he is now, though. I did not see this coming. Being an all-star and then ascending into
All
a
NBA.
top 5 player,
Yep. Mhm.
what he's done, I think people are unwilling to accept how much better he's gotten in such a short amount of time based off where he was at.
But why?
That there is still doubt around what he can do.
People doubt SGA?
I don't think. No, yeah, there is
Why?
people. Who
I
doubt-
think there's doubt in the playoffs of what he
I
can
don't
do.
think
still
People
it's-
just
between
don't want to
people.
point him top 5 because he hasn't done the playoffs.
Yeah,
Well, when he
That's
was
all
top,
it
when he
is.
came into the season top 10, everybody freaked out over
But
the
that
list.
was also ridiculous.
because I think there's still some like you got to prove it type vibe when you come into the top 10, and I think it's respectable. When you're a top 10 player, you have either done it for a long period of time, have you proved it? So it's like with SGA, he kind of just jumped in there, and you kind of just want to see him prove it on a big stage, And it's nothing wrong with it. But the same way how we put Embiid in top 5s, top 3s because he's this great elite regular season player. He's been doing this for a long time. I guess people are like, well, why SGA can't get that same title? And now he's back-to-back years of 30 points per game, but now they're winning. So this is like the first time where now you're really winning a shit ton of games. SGA is playing like a two-way player. So it's just about really just all he doesn't have to do is don't flame out. As long as he plays great in the first round, second round, third round, however far they go, then you can see it translate. But people are kind of like waiting, and Joel's right. People are kind of like waiting for him to like fall off or fail to kind of like.
That's weird.
It's part of
It's all
the NBA. It's
first
happened to
team
everybody.
last
It's
season.
just-
it's
I
just
ju-
back-to-back years him playing elite basketball.
I never get that. Yeah, my agenda, my narrative. I want him to play bad so I could be right. It's like he's been consistently great for almost a season and a half. Before he was injured, obviously, you look before the All-NBA teams, he obviously was still a good basketball player. You saw the talent that he could be. I don't understand just trying to sound right, because the noise before the season saying that he wasn't a top 10 player, when he was All-NBA, when OKC had no expectation to be anywhere near the play-in, he lifted them up to be in the position that they were. And now this season, we knew they just needed that big. They needed a big to give them that presence. We knew Chet Holmgren would be on the way. I felt they'd be a top 6 team. Did I anticipate them being one of the best teams in the NBA? No, but that's also a testament to how great SGA and, of course, the supporting cast is. Trying to get an agenda off just so you can root for someone to fail is ridiculous. It never makes sense to me.
The leap they've taken, though, makes me believe that they can go really far in the playoffs.
sure.
The last team I've seen do this was the Grizzlies in the West, and they were young. That's
what I was thinking,
They had
too.
playoff experience, and then they went to the second round next year, but there was Western Conference Finals expectations. The difference, though, is I think OKC's a better team. I think they have a better half-court offense. They're more efficient. Their style of play and how they play basketball can transfer over to the playoffs better. And that's why I think they can beat 80% of the Western Conference. The Minnesota matchup, in terms of just sheer size, it is a matchup that isn't favorable to them. But on the other end, what Minnesota has to figure out is they got to figure out their offense. Right now, they're 19th in offensive rating. They could get into these lulls and slumps where there's a turnover or a bad shot from their players, and that's what they have to figure out, because they're not going to beat OKC with the current offense that they have.
Agreed.
And that that I know the size argument is a good argument, but OKC's a better basketball team right now, and Minnesota got to be more efficient offensively.
And one thing that does help out SGA in the spacing on the floor is that they're the second best three-point shooting team in the league. So, of course, we would like to see SGA be more of a consistent three-point shooter, but why would you try and fuck up a game that's already near flawless right now, especially when the supporting cast around them is knocking down their shots? Right now, everything's hitting for OKC.
Yeah, for sure. They've been doing anything.
There's a question around OKC if they can go into the playoffs and win because they haven't done it. Philadelphia has went into the playoffs, and we've seen playoff collapses. We've seen them lose to the Hawks.
Interesting conversation.
We've seen them lose to the Celtics just recently. Joel Embiid has consistently not performed in the playoffs. But do you get the feeling that this year is different for them?
I think Dehls should start. I really do believe Dehls should start here because he's the big, nothing's going to change for me, Philly vibe. So.
Philly's been great this season.
They always are.
It always comes down to Embiid, though. And it sucks to say this, but it's been just the story of him in the NBA is injuries. Every season that he's been in the postseason, there's been some injury that happens to him where he's not been the same efficient player. I got these stats from Jason Timpu. Shout out to The Volume. Creates content for them. Last year, Joel Embiid was 0.97 points per jumper in the regular season. That fell down to 0.59 points per jumper. He's at the same 0.98, which is stupid elite. But is it going to translate to the postseason? They could have as much success as they want in the regular season. We have Tyrese Maxey getting all-star starter nods. We're getting him possibly all-NBA nods. He's been fantastic. Supporting cast to Tobias Harris, Kelly Oubre, all these dudes have been playing really well. But I've seen them play well in the regular season too. Last season, James Harden was in the same sort of Tyrese Maxey conversation, although Maxey scoring at a higher rate. He was in the all-star, all-NBA conversations, and we saw the playoffs come. It wasn't the same. But I have more faith now in them because Harden, at least with Philly and previous teams, was not the same player in the playoffs. So now you had both of your stars, Embiid and Harden, who didn't typically play up in playoff time. Last season, for the 76ers, Maxey was their second best player. And you can make the argument he was their best player with how much Embiid struggled against the Sixers, against the Celtics. So now that Maxey's playing at this high of a level, I've seen him produce as the third option last year. I do think this is Philly's best shot over these last couple of seasons, but it's going to come down to Embiid. It's hard for me to paint another picture, whether it's supporting cast, whether it's coaches, because they've had all these different changes. If Embiid is healthy and he's 100% and he's able to replicate what he does in the regular season, the Sixers have a shot. But we haven't seen it up to this point. And we also have a pretty long track record of him going up against Boston and struggling with Al Horford, of course, Rob Williams in the past. And now you add KP, this dude who's 7'2", who could protect the rim at an extremely high rate. That's a tough matchup for them. But again, if Embiid's able to replicate it, if he's able to come into the postseason, be that dude again, he's an MVP. He might win back-to-back MVPs this season, so you can't count them out. I got to see it first before I put them in that conversation, though.
That's the unfortunate thing when we talk about Philly. It's like, hey, it's all cute and all. Similar like we talk about the Cowboys in the regular season. We know that you're amazing in the regular season, but what can you do in the playoffs? But let's enjoy what they're doing right now. 5th in offensive rating, 5th in defensive rating. But we know the conversations around Maxey, around Embiid, but I feel like a player that has failed to get love this season is Tobias Harris. Averaging almost 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 52% from the field, 37% from 3. He's been one of the best role players in the association, truthfully. What are you smiling at over there?
Oh, Tobias Harris mentioned. Riv doesn't like Tobias Harris.
And here's the thing. I don't love Tobias Harris or haven't loved him in the past, especially if you're a Philly fan. Hey, Riv, it's okay for the idea that Jimmy Butler should be on this team as opposed to a Tobias. That's where you can stem from not appreciating Tobias that much.
You just got to get over that.
How easy you just believed him
was
more
I'm not saying
that's not a lie. That's not a lie, Riv.
No, I'm just I called him mid.
You've called him mid like every single time.
Okay. Yeah.
We used to talk about Tobias Harris, and every single time Tobias Harris is mentioned, you say mid.
But
that's why I laugh.
Like
look at you.
He's mid.
I'll tell you what though, he's been far from mid this season. We have not talked
about Tobias in like 2 years.
No, I agree.
Tobias Harris mid
right now? No.
But that's what I'm saying.
Was he mid when I called him mid?
You called him mid last year. He wasn't mid last year. He was good.
My whole point of mentioning
Tobias Harris kind of been the same player for a long time, bro.
Volume's up now. Your volume's up. You look better.
The whole point of mentioning him was because, like you mentioned, nobody said shit about Tobias Harris for 2 years, and I agree with you, Riv, because what's the shiny toy right now? It's Tyrese Maxey, who's the face of the franchise, Joel Embiid. But who's this guy that's kind of been hovering, especially with the price tag on his name, around kind of mediocrity for a little while, like you said, mid. But this season, he's really turned it up a notch and really accepted his role on this team. You're right, there is a little bit more opportunity. He's been seizing that. Now, you look at the lineups with the Maxey, Tobias Harris, Batum, DeAnthony Melton, and Joel Embiid. 33.3 point differential, 137.3 points per possession. EFG of 62.3. And then defensively, you see their points per possession offensively, 137. They allow 103.9 points per possession. That's in the 85th percentile. This is an elite defense, and scoring the basketball is not a problem, especially when Joel Embiid has improved this much as a playmaker so quickly in one offseason. It's just a matter of Embiid staying healthy. And even when Embiid did miss some games this season, they were still able to play some winning basketball. I think that so long as Joel Embiid is healthy come playoff time, this is a team that you have to look at and respect because they have a more respectable coach in Nick Nurse in that playoff setting that's not going to crumble under pressure. I think that I look at the 76ers and I think, hey, watch out.
I feel like every team that fails to live up to expectation is always compared to the Cowboys.
Crying.
That was unfair of me to do that?
I think the Sixers fall into that category.
For sure.
They haven't been to a conference finals in 20 years.
Fourth quarter, why the fuck is Batum in?
The Sixers, Joel Embiid hasn't performed in the playoffs up until now. I don't know. Like, I think they have a better chance, but it's really one of those teams that you have to see it to believe it with them. I think putting any type of faith in that team is blind faith, in my opinion. I do.
And that's coming from the Sixers guy.
I just think it's a matter of being healthy.
You know, Drew,
I know we haven't seen Embiid healthy. However, if he
the
were
game.
to,
You have to see him be healthy.
Are they not the
similarly
Cowboys
with
of the
the Lakers
NBA?
and AD and LeBron? If they're healthy, we know what they can
Wait,
do.
hold on. Are the Sixers the Cowboys of the NBA?
That's what I just said.
They are?
For sure.
I said that.
Drew,
That's a nice take.
you what you did just now is you gave them praise, and you should. As
I love Tobias Harris.
You're that guy for sure.
I told you I'm coming in with the Joel Embiid stand agenda this season.
And shout out to you. I'm gonna be the guy that's gonna be just honest. We don't give a fuck about what they're doing right now. We don't give a fuck about what they do in the regular season.
I got it.
And it's unfortunate.
It is.
But it's the truth. Because every year they're a top 2-3 seed. Every year Embiid is pushing MVP talks. Every year the playoffs happen, and it's the same shit literally in repeat. Now, I will say there's some things different this year, of course. They have a new coach.
Vibes.
Who if you split up the table on this side,
The L.
the
shape
L
just
right
kinda
here,
just-
kind of the L thought Nick Nurse would be a big upgrade over Doc Rivers, and now he's seeming to come to the light. So now I think I can fully say we all think that he's a big
He saw the light
upgrade.
so much, he texted us after. He's like, guys,
Yeah.
I went too far.
And Nick Nurse, he's always been an overachiever for the most part with Toronto. Kelly Oubre is another guy who's
Talk
been
about
hooping. They have a lot more wings than they do now. Batum's got some solid minutes. They got Kelly Oubre, Tobias Harris, so they've been playing a lot of that. Plus Patrick Beverley's give you that
Marcus
bulldog
Morris, key to the
defense in 15 minutes. That was crazy because he gets like 6 minutes a game. But, he got the keys. Beverley still giving you that bulldog defense. Paul Reed. So this roster, I think we all can agree, is kind of better than the one they had last year from a continuity standpoint, a depth standpoint, and just a team unity standpoint. Like, they got wings, they have a good collection of guards, and they have big. So we understand that. And I think you can, to a degree, acknowledge that they're one of the 4 best teams in the East. You can acknowledge that Embiid is playing like a top 2 player in the world. You can acknowledge that Maxey is here. He has arrived. They have good role players. But unfortunately, it always comes down to the playoffs because at the same time, the playoffs is the moment, the big stage where you put it all together. You find out how your team is. Now, they don't have Harden anymore. Maxey brings them a different level of play, and he has shown that he's been solid in the playoffs, and he can improve that. It's really going to be interesting to see how they look because if you look at the East outside of Boston, everybody has an issue. Milwaukee, their defense is dog shit. Indiana, experience, right? Cleveland, offensively, will they be able to put up the same amount of points they put up? The Knicks, I think the Knicks have been hooping, but can you match that physicality with Embiid? Can you keep up? Can Randall continue this stretch of good basketball play in the playoffs? Miami is always going to be that dog in everybody's, situation. And then other teams are just like Chicago, Atlanta, blah, blah, blah. Philly's not worried about them. So I think for Philly, I love that you give them that acknowledgement because they have been playing great ball, but they played this great ball. We've seen this happen multiple times. We've seen them be a top 3 seed. This is like repetitive. Same thing with Boston. Boston gets the same shit every year. We know what they're going to do. They're going to be a top 3 seed. They're going to, win a lot of games. Jason Tatum's going to put up stupid numbers, but it's about what happens in April, what happens in May, what happens in June. That's what we care about with these teams that have been consistently great in the regular season.
I like the Tobias Harris mention because I feel like he's always the butt of the joke.
You still how? You said that 4 times.
No, I didn't. This is my first time saying I like the Tobias Harris.
Tell him get off.
No, you said it.
Tell him he's riding right now.
Second?
Well, definitely
I count
not
a third.
I don't think.
It's probably around 3 to 4. However, he's
like,
just talking for the first time.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's why I asked if you were still high.
Everything else was just ad libs. This is my verse.
Oh,
Those was ad libs.
Oh!
My fault. You're still high.
Those was
I get it.
ad libs.
It's
Now
fair.
listen, I like this Tobias Harris mention because he's always the butt of everybody's joke. That's now a 5th time. Because based on his contract, everybody always discredits just that he's just a good player. I know the contract, he's overpaid for what he brings to a team, but he is a really good player for his role. And I feel like when he's in the right situation, he thrives as a player. And he's somebody that, all 30 NBA teams would want on the roster, realistically. But for a long time, he's always been kind of viewed as a player that's not good or mid.
You said it best. Like,
He's playing like how you'd hope Wiggins would play.
Sure.
You would actually rather Tobias Harris's impact right now over Wiggins.
Sure, yeah.
And they're getting paid the same money, right?
Yeah.
About the same.
They're both getting 40.
No. Wiggs gets 28.
Wiggins gets 28.
I was going to say, there's no way to buy that Wiggins getting 40.
And you mentioned that didn't move
Sam
me, by the
Hauser's
way, because
impact
Wiggins
over
helped us
Aaron
hold the
Jones.
trophy up. So
You're right.
never forget. You never forget. But you said a good point. Huh?
Who do you lock in the way there?
He went on the stretch where he locked Tatum.
Oh,
He had some good
not
possessions
Tatum.
against Luka. He had some good
Luka.
possessions against Ja. First round, he didn't really had to do shit. Jamal wasn't there, so
Ja also got hurt, didn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
Mickey
But
Mouse,
he has
what'd
some
you
good. Well, he guarded him game 3. Good, really good.
The series you were most scared of, Ja was hurt.
Yes, Memphis did worry me a bit. But that's all in the past. We won, so it doesn't matter about that.
Mickey Mouse.
You made a good point though. Tobias is a good player. The problem is relative to his contract, he's mid, and that's just what
And
it
also,
is.
Jimmy Butler should be on this team still.
Wow, I didn't want to bring that up, but
That's why it's tough to talk about Tobias Harris on the Sixers.
nobody wants Tobias Harris on their team.
That's not his fault, though.
For $38 million.
That's not his fault.
It's not his fault, but he's the guy they chose. So automatically,
He's the
tied in.
scapegoat. Yeah. He's
That's
the
all I
scapegoat.
said. That's all I mean.
Yes. But
It's unfortunate for
Jimmy
him
Butler has
that
won
he's
a
not a top 5, top 10.
Tobias ain't been there.
True.
But they could have kept
Jimmy
both,
got
though,
ACS.
realistically.
Huh?
They could have kept both, though.
They could have, yeah.
appearances?
They absolutely could. But
they?
yeah,
No,
they
yeah,
could've
it wasn't like a choosing of one of them. It's just they didn't want to bring back Jimmy Butler.
I thought it was Ben
No,
was
it
getting
was
40.
Jimmy said fire Brett, or I'm gone, and I don't think they fired Brett.
Yeah, Brett was obviously a terrible coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Butler was right.
And then he went to the best coach in the game.
And he got to a finals twice.
Twice.
Meanwhile,
He's a legend.
yeah,
He is.
When you look at the top 5 players in points in isolation every game, number 1 is Luka, number 2 is SJ, number 3 is Embiid, number 4 is Tatum, and number 5 is Harden.
sounds about right.
I think that
sense.
the Harden fit with Embiid last year, it worked. Harden is going to adapt to anybody he plays with. He's just that great of a playmaker. But I think his most natural fit is playing with wing players or guards. Like right now he's playing with Kawhi and Paul George. I felt like when the Nets did play, the fact that not even playing 15 games together, they were able to have the number 1 offensive rating in history. They got out the gate running and playing really well. And I think that transition to now going to the Clippers has helped him play with them.
So fucking good, Dehls.
You look at the
Turn
Clippers
to
and
Lee, so
he's really playing. Harden is playing his style, his brand of basketball. Maybe not at the volume he used to play it at, but I thought last year what he did say about Doc Rivers not using him to his potential,
Makes
you could
sense.
see it's happening with the Clippers right now, and I feel like it's even helped out Embiid. I think now you see how efficient Embiid is getting the touches he's getting. And I think trading Harden was a win for both sides.
I
think-
think now Maxey broke out too.
That's true. Maxey having the breakup that he's
cheaper.
having was huge.
A lot cheaper. You're gonna have to pay him, but not.
And you got a
not as
bunch
much
of role
as
players that
probably.
fit around Embiid.
yeah.
This is like
Kelly Oubre. They signed. Was it
Cheap.
October?
He was
Did
the
they
last-
sign him?
like the last
one of
few
the last
days, yeah.
dudes who they brought in. He's been such a huge part.
This is
in
like the
rotation and
09
starting
Magic.
and off the bench.
way of building around the center.
If you see the way that the Sixers are playing this season, obviously we can use hindsight and think, hey, it's not the biggest of deals, but Harden got what he wanted. Doc Rivers was gone. Then, of course, with the issues with Daryl Morey and him not giving him a contract, with the way that Harden has been playing in LA and the way that we've seen the Clippers play as a team, you just can't help but think, what would Harden look like the way that he's playing right now on the 76ers?
You can't do that, though, because then Maxi's not doing what he's doing now.
But Maxey kind of showed what he could be in the playoffs against you guys.
Yeah, he was good, but he wasn't this.
Of course not, because there's more opportunities.
This is crazy.
Because the fact that he has the ball in his hands so much now, controlling the offense with Embiid, he's able to put up these numbers.
And it's also, you see in LA, he's still not the number 2 scoring option. He's not the number 3
Sometimes
scoring
he is.
option. Sometimes he is.
It's
I
like
understand.
it's really outside of Kawhi.
Kawhi's number 1. He's the number 1
sometimes
scoring
I can't
even
even say that though.
Yeah, you're right. Because
switches up
PG,
a
if
lot.
you have his night,
It really is just whoever's hot gets it, and they play like just whoever's.
I'll say
going
Philly be one or two.
majority of the time similar to Philadelphia.
Yeah, they definitely start
majority
off with
will
Kawhi.
be Kawhi as opposed to Philadelphia Embiid. Number 2, number 3 would be that PG Harden, similar to a Maxey and a Harden. PG obviously is a better.
It really depends on the lineup because Harden and Westbrook play with the second unit. Like they Harden comes out and they play with the second unit. Sometimes PG comes in late. It really just whoever's got a heat, like whoever's on the heater.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, no, for real, it works
You got
magically.
so much talent there that
so good.
now you're gonna
They are
And then
good.
Norman Powell comes
Norman
in.
Powell's
He
him.
gets hit. Listen, man.
This the year.
If it ain't this year, what the fuck is it gonna be? Right now,
Better
it
be
could
this
be.
year.
I'm
I'll take
excited.
being right on the Clippers, but I'll tell you what, I am in pain.
I'm just hoping everybody's healthy.
Don't
That's
like
really
seeing
it.
them this good.
I want the Clippers, if they're gonna lose
Healthy.
healthy. Like lose like the man way, not just Kawhi fucks his knee
This
up.
would be
PG goes
dog
down.
fights in the Western Conference.
But it's the best year to do it. Kawhi's been the healthiest he's ever been.
Oh, yeah, it's been fun.
Keep
It's
this
It's been
going.
viral.
yeah.
And I say
That
this as
OKC
someone
match
who's a Lakers
was,
fan.
was good, man. I'm telling you,
It was.
12-5. You see what happened.
Yo, let me ask you, bro. Little off topic. Jazz, they moving you?
I like the Jazz. They're cool. Moving me in terms of what?
I don't know, because last time we were on this microphone, we were talking about the Jazz. You were just like, let's relax,
Relax
slow
here.
it down. But
was like-
yesterday,
what
What do we
that?
slow down on though? What do we relax
Like
on?
they're making the playoffs.
them being a playing team.
I mean, if they be a playing team, that's cool.
But my point being is, you saw the way
That
that
means
they
either
played versus
you guys or
OKC.
Phoenix are out.
Hey, listen, I'm not going to say anything about Phoenix. But you saw the way that they played against OKC.
I was excited for them. They play fun ball.
They're a
They
good
did.
basketball team.
They are.
They are a good
I just don't
basketball
know.
team.
I just don't know if they're going to be buyers or sellers.
There could be another team.
Well, they said
might
that
fall
people
out.
have been calling about Laurie and they're shutting it down.
The Mavs. He's doing it again.
Oh, I know they're not. They're not
Yeah,
gonna.
he's
You
doing
want
it.
you want to know was this dude had the nerve to tell me that if the Mavs got Pascal Siakam the deal, the bet should be scrapped.
That's a fact.
That's some BS.
That's a fact,
No,
bro.
you make a
I
bet.
think that's a BS.
You make a bet.
I'm gonna say why. I'm gonna give my piece. Let me get my piece. If you make a bet at the beginning of the year,
It
you
wasn't
have
the
to.
beginning of the year. It was a week ago.
It was literally a week.
No, it was before. What do you mean?
The
It was a
Siakam
couple
bet.
weeks ago.
No, it was
Or
literally a
excuse me,
week
the
ago.
Dallas bet.
Oh, it
a
was?
week
Yeah,
ago.
but no,
It's like a
but
week or
Oh, I
two.
was about to say, if you make a bet, you have to understand trades might happen. Shit
Oh
might goes
my
down.
God.
But if it was a week
you
ago,
have to.
But it's like, Riv, you understand that I have a brain in my head, the common sense of Luka, Kyrie, Pascal. What is my idea? They're a top 6 team, correct?
Yes.
I would never make a bet saying that they would be anything less than that if I knew that that would be the 3 guys, correct?
Yeah.
No,
To be fair, these rumors were circling around for like 2 weeks.
There's always a
They were, but
possibility
I'm with you.
of
That
a
would be
trade
crazy.
happening.
I would cut it in half.
We made the bet while the rumors was very
Yeah,
well
we
in
never, but
circulation.
when you made the bet, you guys never had any stipulation about what if
I mean,
Siakam goes.
If there's
what
no
this
stipulation,
goes.
then if
You
I
can-
win,
just
then
everything
I
goes?
shouldn't.
I'm just
have to
low-key.
tell them.
So if Luka gets hurt and he misses the rest of the season, Drew would be right.
You have to
Sure.
play that card.
see, but that's terrible.
I would have never
Sure.
took that.
I wouldn't give you the money.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't, other way
At
around.
most,
I wouldn't
y'all
ask you for
y'all
the
coulda
money.
cut it in half.
Facts.
That could have cut it in half. Like that would have been.
Cut it in
valid.
half so we both get 25. Like, or are you saying?
No, I'm saying
I
you
take
cut
it
the
instead?
deal. Yeah, the deal. in
Nah,
half.
but that's still cheap. It's like if.
well, he's not there.
You're right.
So
No, that's why I was happy. I was
And
thrilled.
listen, and now if someone gets hurt, you're in the clear.
I guess so. Apparently.
damn.
No, now it's just no excuses when the Mavericks do make the top
No,
6
for
seed.
sure.
There's no
There's-
excuses.
I mean, now we're
Kings
fine.
are falling.
This is what we're expecting.
the Kings
Kings
have
are-
been.
The Kings are
losing.
falling,
about
and then
the
somehow,
They're
some way,
stinking
the
it up.
Mavericks.
Jim
still
Harbaugh met with the
7.
Falcons for a second time.
Second time too.
So did Belichick, right?
Belichick
Yeah.
both
Coming
two
down to
times.
the
They're
wire.
going for some big dogs. I like that.
They're going to be the one that land the best hire, regardless of who they
If they
feel
go
it
with one
is.
of them two, it's going to be hard to
Yes,
argue.
Jim Harbaugh. That's the one. That's really is the one. Pascal Siakam joined the Indiana Pacers. We're going to rank our top 5 duos in the Eastern Conference. I'm curious to see where Tyrese and Pascal fall for
trouble
each
doing
of you
this.
I had
guys.
trouble too.
I didn't have too much trouble.
I named
personally.
7 duos because I would like to have a discussion.
Okay.
So I named the Jays, of course. I named Embiid.
Number 1.
No, this is no order. I just named 7 because I putting in an order. It was tough for me.
I had 10 somehow.
I had Embiid and Maxey, Giannis and Dame.
How deep did you go?
10.
Pause.
Yeah, that was nuts.
I said pause.
Wouldn't you like to
You
find
did,
out?
but that was still a little crazy.
that
Brunson and
went
Randall,
back.
I have up here.
Little slut.
I feel like Brunson and Randall. Butler and Bam. Siakam and Hallie. Boncaro and Wagner. And I'll put D-Mitch and Jared Allen. I did put them up here.
Not Garland.
He's been
What about
fucking
Kobe
hurt.
White and DeMar?
Who?
Kobe White and DeMar.
They have 20 wins.
I have them here.
Okay.
No Jordan Poole. Cool.
You know what, Riv? You probably should have let someone who had a list organized go. You know, because you just named the duos.
Well, you're about to start naming Kobe and DeMar.
He just said he wants to have a discussion on
We can have a
that.
discussion.
I did.
But
because
hold
that's the
up.
whole point.
It was
of the
hard to get to
conversation.
5.
Mitchell
It
and
was
Allen.
hard to get to 5.
I understand that's to do with his playing now.
Top,
I thought we were talking about right now.
I have Mitchell and Allen.
Top
do?
three I
only
felt
did
comfortable
because we
with.
were talking about right now.
Okay.
So
Then-
I'm
I have Mitchell
Top
and
three I
Allen.
felt
And they've been
comfortable with.
Mobley have
bugging.
been
And
hurt.
Mitchell and Allen have been bugging.
Yeah, they've been hurt. So that's the only reason I put Garland. I put Allen and Mitchell. They've been playing.
Another aside, that video of Donovan Mitchell saying, "Yeah, we lost our 2 dogs, but we said this ride's for y'all," and then it starts
getting the
going
dogs
into
back.
his highlight
Yeah,
tape.
yeah.
That tape was hard.
Yeah. You thought the season was over.
Everybody did.
Yeah, but I remember your tweet specifically.
Whoa, what about me? Why are you including me? I did
didn't?
say. I
You
said
didn't say that.
the
You did, but
chain
your
was a
tweet- your
mistake.
tweet-
That was another
Something.
moment. If Drew chose to put your line card,
No.
I would have not been able to
I'm
prove him
honest.
wrong.
I'm
Bro
honest.
said, "Don't call me a liar ever again." Sent the video.
Well, that's a fantasy reaction, not move.
You got to remember, you're
Not
on
moved.
TV.
That's on the
I
pick
didn't even,
side.
I
It's
didn't
on the
even
pick
say it
side
to
network.
him. That's the only reason why I was a little Mickey Mouse. I didn't say it to him, but
you
he
said it.
somehow remembered that I said
Yeah,
it.
he's a wild guy.
No, he
kinda
hit up
just-
Santos and said,
No, that was
"Find it."
afterward. I need my little gremlin. Come on, baby. Let's go get Drew.
No, what
Santos, I'm on to you, bro. I'm going to start asking you for some clips.
you
now.
said it on fantasy reaction, but you've said it when I've been on the show before. I
You
remember
tune in?
those debates.
You tune in?
To the fantasy. Of course, I tune in. Of course,
I've seen him in the comments before.
No, I have seen that too.
Of course, I
Seen
tune
Red
in.
there, too.
Whenever
here.
y'all talk about the fantasy reaction, we all eventually talk about. So I've heard those excuses before.
I'll be in there the first 10 minutes, and we start.
It was
talking.
just coincidental that no clip he could find was on the podcast. That's the only reason why.
That's him. If I look for it, I'll really get it.
But you know,
I'm
Santos.
too
Think
busy.
about how fast Santos found it.
No, he
Found
really
it
found
so
it fast.
quick.
He knows- he
If he
finds
found it
anything
so
quick.
quick, you think that if he really got his time to do it,
Yeah.
to search for
Yeah.
pick a side,
Yeah.
he's not gonna find it.
No,
He
the
will
thing is,
find it.
if he was
Don't put it up.
looking for
He
it,
will find it.
listen,
have a feeling
Santos,
he
I'm gonna
will.
challenge
He'll
you.
find it.
Either
Fucking
TikTok
find it.
He'll
or
find it, man.
YouTube,
Fucking find it.
Instagram reel. It's somewhere.
He'll find it. I'm telling you, he's.
I'm
gonna
not
find
worried
that
for shit. It was a funny clip though. I laughed.
was
I laughed very hard. But the fact that you put it on Twitter when it was the fantasy reaction, not the actual podcast, I was like, come on, bro.
Well, the 201 was very real though.
Yeah, that I know.
We're not
That
gonna
I
talk
know.
about play calling. No,
for
that Titans
sure.
game was nuts. Top
Did
5
I say that
duos
for the Titans game too? That's
We did.
hilarious.
I agree with you in that one though. I said you should have ran the ball.
Should have. It was raining.
every game 2 is bad. That's the
Should've run the ball.
But the
Chiefs-
Titans
Chiefs
game.
won.
The
Chiefs
Titans
won. I
game.
understand.
That's also
That
when
was
they had
bad.
3. Wait. No, that's 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Oh,
Titans
I thought
game, week
Titans game
17.
I don't know.
this
He's folded every year, so
Titans
pick a
game
year.
this year.
Oh,
this year.
Titans. They should have ran the ball a little bit more. But I'm thinking about the Titans game when they got fucking
Didn't I
smoked.
show y'all the film of the Titans game, the last 2 plays?
You did.
Where,
You did.
where there was receivers open?
There's this window right here. It's very
did show
small,
us.
Bro,
but
don't
it's
know how to
there.
watch. I showed y'all. I found it
No,
in
you
2
did.
seconds.
You did find it mad fast, actually.
That's what I'm saying.
I
It's
think you
'cause
were in Phoenix when you found it.
I just think with Drew
That's
is,
a fact.
he was
We
in
did
Phoenix. He found the shit on the
He put it on
stream.
the
I
stream.
just feel like when it's Tua, he can do no wrong.
No.
That's what it
can't.
is.
I mean, we all have that
Tribal
one
chief.
player.
We do.
Yeah, we have that one player.
Some just happen to be a little bit more safe than others, but we all have that one player.
I mean, nobody tells you pick mid.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, Sam Howell, Russell Wilson. You said Sam
You
Howell's
do
gonna
it
be
to
better than Jordan
yourself.
Love. That was dumb as hell.
You said Will Levis was better too.
no, but Sam Howell led the league in turnovers. That was bad. And you ain't paid me on the bet yet, so I want my player too.
That I got to give you
Yes.
for sure. That I know.
I should have never.
That was a good L.
gave up on the Justin Fields bet either, but he was hurt.
He was
so.
hurt.
Yeah, we said.
I thought that was gonna be close.
Yeah, we said
I
if he
did.
missed that third game, it was like, yeah, shit's kind of dead.
Oh, Jordan Love is. Oh my God.
Oh, don't forget,
So leaps and bounds better.
we have a bet. Us.
I know.
in the NBA.
Yeah, you're cooked and you're cooked.
I
The
am
Nets are
cooked.
done.
What's the
Yeah,
bet?
the Nets
But
are
I
done.
never took it with you. I
No,
took
we
it with
have
them.
Bulls in Atlanta. We're tight right now.
Oh,
but we're
Bulls
two-
in Atlanta is a
Bulls in
game and a
Atlanta.
half.
We're
I
2
saw. It's
Atlanta
2
was
of
Wait, so hold
5.
up. If DeJounte Murray gets traded, is that bet still on?
It's up to you, bro, because it makes them better. If you really think about it, it makes Atlanta better.
It
It
depends
does.
on
Wait,
they get
without
back.
DeJounte.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna need to
without
see how
DeJounte.
they look. Give me a week after to evaluate.
If they start winning,
Yeah, they go 3-0 all of a sudden. They're
That's
back
dumb
on.
as
That's
hell.
crazy.
Nah, that's
Give
crazy.
me a week to evaluate the team after they trade him.
Top 5 duels.
Oh, can I get my list? He just named all of them.
He just said it's easy. So
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it. I wanted to have a conversation. But you know
Relatively.
what? Let's see what this
All right.
Dingleberry has to say.
What is a Dingleberry?
So I don't know, a berry. I don't know.
That's from the Fairly Odd Parents, I'm pretty sure.
Is it?
Yes.
That's
Dingleberry.
Dinkleberg. Dinkleberg. But Dingleberry is the shit in between your balls and your gooch, like that got caught in your
I was
gooch
not
hairs.
expecting this.
Didn't see that either.
That was crazy.
That's why you called me a Dingleberry. It was funny, but even funnier
Thought it
that
was
you
berry.
thought it was a
real
berry.
Yeah. Thought it was a fruit.
Dingleberry definition is a foolish or inept person.
Oh,
Okay,
You're
that's it. No, but the actual.
there's an
no, that's
actual-
right.
there's a medical term for it?
No, it's not a medical
it's
term.
an actual term.
No, that's how it looks.
Oh yeah, that's nuts.
That's not a Dingleberry.
I don't think that's the only picture that shows a berry on Google Images. I don't know if that's it.
What the fuck is this?
I have an idea of what it can potentially mean.
Yeah, look at what that fruit
A
looks like.
berry.
like
all
a-
right,
yeah.
you guys wanted to know. Here we go. A dingleberry is a very small piece of shit that hangs on one of your ass hairs and won't fall
Has
out.
that ever happened to you guys? Have you had a dingleberry?
Well, you got to wash your ass.
Yeah,
You know, I upgraded to wipies.
they said it today.
Do your thing.
Oh, that would be that'd be
crazy.
OD. But no, that's funny. An actual berry, and your dumbass thought it was an actual berry too.
I think we all did. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I did not for
I
a
don't-
second.
I only-
You knew what it
Berry.
was?
I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just like an insult. Like, it's stupid.
Oh, I thought it was.
At
too.
first it
Yeah.
was, but then he like I was like, I don't know.
My mom's watching the show, so let's stop.
Past that.
She's hilarious. Number 10. This is where I put in Kobe.
10?
Yeah, I went 10. I told you I went 10.
We did top
Brother,
5
cut the
duos.
five.
That's
Bro
not true.
started at 10.
Oh, we
Start
did
at
do top
7.
5.
Start at 7.
No. Number 10, Kobe White and DeMar. Number 9, this is where I have Trey and DeJounte. RIP, they've fallen off. Number 8, Paolo and Franz. Number 7, Mitchell and Allen. And that's with respect to Mitchell and Allen because they've been balling. Number 6 is where I have Brunson and Randall. Number 5, this is where I fit in Reese and Pascal. Number 4, this is a little controversial, but I went with the team that's went farther. Embiid and Maxey. Number 3, Jimmy and Bam. 2, Tatum and Brown. And 1, Damian Giannis.
This list is all up and down because if you said I put the team that went farther,
The
why
Heat
not
gotta
put the
be
J-
over,
yeah,
yeah.
why not the
I
Jays
understand. The only reason why I have Bam
Giannis
and
won a championship.
correct. Giannis
go one? With Middleton.
Giannis is still a top 2, at worst top 3 player in the world. I still look.
That was random.
God said, "Hey Drew, be careful. Be careful how you talk about Giannis. You may be wrong." But Dame and Giannis, even though Dame has not been the most efficient, we understand who he is. We understand who Giannis is. Tatum and Brown, we still understand that they've been to multiple ECFs. They went to a finals. Jimmy and Bam, I just think where we've seen them make it to the finals, I just think talent-wise, the top 2 are better. And that's my reasoning behind having them over Embiid and Max because we know Embiid and Maxey have been great this
Is
season.
it crazy to have Brunson and Randall over Hallie and Siakam?
It's not crazy.
It's not crazy.
They were 5 and 6 for you, right?
They were 5 and 6
for me too.
Because I think you can argue Randall's been better than Siakam this year, and I think Brunson and Hallie been on the same
conversation.
level
Yes.
for sure. So, you know,
I think Hallie's been slightly better.
no, I'm saying
Brunson's been
you,
so
you
crazy,
go either
though.
way. I don't care. I'm not going to throw any fit for it.
No, I like Brunson.
Yeah, but I'm saying Randall, I think, has been better than Siakam. So
I think
that
so
was
too,
tough.
but I want to see Siakam in the Pacers offense
Yeah, yeah,
because
for
he
sure.
could end up being better than Randall.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though Randall's looked great this year.
Tatum and JB are number 2 for you.
I have them too.
So if you're doing it based off who's gone further, then why aren't Jimmy and Bam over Tatum and JB?
It's not who I've gone further. It's solely just for
picking and
Embiid
choosing.
and Maxey. That's it.
So
It's a tiebreaker
that
between
that
those two.
stipulation
That was the tiebreaker.
That
for them.
stipulation
just
only
for
was for one.
Bam and
Okay.
Jimmy. Yeah,
Okay,
I understand you guys calling me out on that, but it's solely for Embiid and
Gotta have
Maxey.
some tiebreaker.
but Jimmy and Bam, is that not a legit conversation over Tatum and JB?
Success-wise, fit-wise, continuity-wise, yes. Talent-wise, of course not. But really, you got to add everything into it.
It's just like which duo going into a playoff series you're trusting these are your guys.
I still would.
I'm taking the Jays, man.
No slight to Jimmy
Can't
and
ask
Bam.
Dehls this.
No slight to
Also,
Jimmy
one of
and
those
Bam.
years was what? Bubble year when Tatum was 21 years old, 22 years old.
I mean, the
They
age
just
thing, I
did it
get
though.
They just did it. Yeah, we
Tatum also did get hurt in game
rolled
7,
ankle
which
game 7. We
sucked.
came back 3-0. You know, it was interesting.
I understand
No,
that.
going down 3-0 was crazy
Yeah.
in its own right. There's no
It
defending
should have
that.
never
we
happened.
may came back.
But in the game 7,
Every
when
game
they did
series.
win 3 straight, he was hurt, which sucks.
Well, this is not definitive though because I mean, the Heat just beat the Celtics in the playoffs, and the year
Actually, let me-
before it went to 7.
Dehls, let me
Jimmy
ask you
was
a
hurt
question.
in that series too.
You played in the bubble. You played the year before last year.
a good
and then
point,
you played
Joel.
last year. Has there ever been a year where that duo has outright outplayed Jimmy and Bam?
the Jays,
Yeah.
you could say I think they went to the finals. That would probably
you
be
think
it.
that would be the one they outright
Yeah, but
played?
the bubble one, they got us. I'm not saying nothing. That was the Kemba year. This is Tatum and
So
Brown
at
being
this
like
point, it's
22
1-1.
years
Last year
old.
they got shot, and then the year before.
I feel like I mean, they got us. I'm taking the L, but for me, like what the Jays look like now is way different than they looked like in the bubble. That was with Kemba, different coach, like just.
But even what they look like now, I feel like last year was worse than the bubble, and yeah, it got better.
What do you mean?
Like last year looked worse. Like last year they outplayed the Jays.
Yeah, they also
and they got better.
They also
got
had
better.
Their role players played amazing too. Caleb
JB
Lawrence
also was the worst that he probably has
Yeah.
ever been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And JB was what you say, JB? Because
Jalen
Jimmy
Brown.
Butler wasn't the most efficient in that series either.
He wasn't.
wasn't.
Nah, he was cool. He wasn't like
After the
he was
ankle
cool.
injury versus the Knicks, he was not
He
at
slowed
that
down.
same pace
The
that he
Bucks
was.
series,
Obviously
he
in the
was
Bucks.
insane.
That's one of the greatest series I've seen in a player in my time.
Based on what you have on your list and your criteria, I think Jimmy and Bam over Tatum and JB, the criteria that you went off of.
Well, I only went off that for Embiid and Maxey.
But you need a tiebreaker for those two.
How do you feel about
For
this year,
who?
though? We've said about years past. How do you feel about this year, the way Tatum and Brown
Here's
are
the
playing?
thing.
They should be one.
If we're going off right now, exactly my point. But I'm still taking talent into account, which is why I have Giannis and Dame
What is
over.
talent?
Is
Because
the
the talent,
duo
Jimmy
better?
Butler and Bam aren't top three. If we're going talent,
Is the duo of Tatum and JB
Really,
better
though?
than Giannis
I would-
and Dame?
sorry. Before I answer that,
but who's better than-
talent wise?
who?
Talent
Said
wise,
talent?
I
No,
put
who's
Maxine
better?
and Embiid over them.
Whoa.
Talent wise, yes.
Jimmy Butler.
Maxine and
I would
Embiid,
put
talent wise, I
Maxey
would
and
put
Embiid
them
over
over
them
them.
too.
We're just talking strictly talent.
That's true.
I
Let
would
me ask
put
you
them-
a
I would
question.
put
You're
them at
saying
two.
Maxey's a better basketball player in a vacuum than Bam
I
Adebayo.
think he's more talented.
Embiid is the MVP. That's a separate.
Embiid's
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 fine.
top three.
That's
That's
fine.
kinda the tiebreaker here.
That's a fair point. That's a fair
Because
point.
Bam and Maxey, they're going to give you different things. How do you compare who's a better player?
I just know that when we get to playoff time, Jimmy and Bam.
But see, that's what I'm
gonna
saying.
be
It's
there.
not just about talent. You can't just say it's a talent.
They're a
thing.
talented duo. They fit perfectly together.
I think they're more. They're not. I think they're more of a just a.
This is yin and yang. This is as close to
I
yin and yang as it gets in the East
but I don't think
duos.
Jimmy's the most talented player.
But let's not get into bag or
no, it's not even a bag.
You know
He's
what
not a better
but-
player.
But you understand what I mean by that. Well,
His IQ is tremendous. His defense.
I know
is
there's
elite.
just better
Like,
thing. There's just more things to a basketball player than just talent. I understand. I did say
Well, talent
talented.
is primarily skill.
Jimmy's pretty damn skilled.
Nah, he's not the most skilled though.
Joel Embiid is a better player
Of
than
course,
Jimmy
Joel
Butler.
Embiid most definitely is a better
by
player.
far.
But again, come playoff time, there is no question.
But-
Jimmy has been a better basketball player than Joel.
Embiid has been hurt in the playoffs.
He has.
So you believe when they're both fully healthy at their best, Embiid is
Embiid
clear-cut
should be better.
Okay.
Should be, but that's the same conversation we had last topic. Was until it happens, it's
I mean,
hard to have
honest,
that conversation.
if we talking just talent, the gap between Embiid and a lot of these players is
So significant.
really far.
But outside of the top, it's the top four that I wouldn't agree with that statement. Other than
I think
the top
Embiid is
four.
the most talented player in the East.
I
by
did my
far?
list off of
No,
talent.
not by far.
That's what I was saying.
Giannis is
but
it's 1A, 1B between those two.
Talent? No, I think Embiid is more talented than
talent.
Giannis.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
All right,
what I'm
let's
saying.
not
The
get.
talent
I'm
is-
done with
we're
the
getting
talent
semantics.
conversation.
I'm
Yeah,
just
the
saying better
semantics are
basketball
going to
players
get to
are
it.
1A, 1B.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't just go just off talent, but then use with other duos. Use how far have they gone? You got to put everything into consideration.
Well, Jimmy and Bam have been underrated since coming together,
They're also the best fit duo,
which is why I
on there.
have them number 3.
I
for
have
sure.
I have Jimmy and Bam fourth. I'll do my list real quick.
shit.
So
I had them at the same spot.
6, I want to give him Brunson and Randall are 6 for me.
You wanted me
They
to put
deserve
them
to be
higher,
in the
but you have
conversation.
them lower.
No, that
You
was your
just don't base
criteria.
your logic.
That was
That's
based
what
on
you
your
said.
logic.
But
yeah.
again,
Yeah,
I
we're
only
going off
said
your
that for
My
criteria.
these-
logic ain't the same as your logic. I'm doing my list straight off of
Fucking balls.
talent. That's
What's wrong
it.
with him?
I'll make a fucking list.
I have 7 guys.
So my I want to give Brunson and Randall their shot at 6. 5, I would have Tyrese and Siakam. 4, I would have Jimmy and Bam. But the top 3, I think, are more talented than basically all of these lists. Embiid and Maxey would be 3, Giannis and Dame 2. And the Jays are number 1 for me, man. The way they're playing this season, they're number
I'm fine
1.
with that. I'm fine with that.
So, Dehls, you're going off the way they're playing. This is why it's a tricky thing.
Because Dame
we
hasn't been
haven't
playing that
seen-
well?
No, because we haven't
Okay.
seen Siakam in
But I think it's a mix. I think it's the way they're playing plus what they've shown me in the playoffs.
But this is where the list gets tricky because we haven't seen Siakam and Hallie play yet.
well, we haven't seen much from Brunson and Randall. They won a playoff series.
Well,
We've seen a lot from
this
Brunson,
year.
not Randall.
We've seen them this year,
To
though.
be
They've been
fair.
In the
hooping.
playoffs,
For
for
sure.
sure.
Man, this is difficult. This is very difficult.
Okay, mine is off of talent. Number 5 is Tyrese and Pascal Siakam. I really love that.
That's what I have.
Yes.
We all have a 5.
Number 4 is Jimmy and Bam. Number 3, Dehls, I hope you look at me after the show.
God.
It's Tatum and
Look at me
JB.
after the show.
Number 2 is Embiid and Maxey, and number 1 is Giannis and Dame. And the best players in these duos is what was a separator for me. Giannis and Embiid are both MVPs, but Giannis is MVP playing with an All-NBA player and Dame. That's number 1 for me.
Has to be.
Number 2, Embiid and Maxey. Embiid is an MVP, and if he's healthy, I think he can be, unstoppable in the playoffs. And Tyrese Maxey's an all-star. I don't think there's a gap between Maxey and Jalen Brown just as, talent and player for player. And I think Embiid is better than Tatum. And then Jimmy and Bam, number 4, because I think they've proven a lot and I love the fit. Tyrese and Pascal is a serious wild card, man. I'm excited to see how they play because it can shock a lot of people and how
I'm
they
not
play.
mad at this because it's obvious you're
Brunson
doing
and Randall?
playmaking. Excuse me. It's obvious you're doing talent.
I don't think so. Because I think
feel like we did kind of.
Tyrese is better than Jalen Brunson. I'm
Would
a
you
Knicks
say
fan.
marginally or clears?
I think there's a pretty significant gap of I think Tyrese is better.
of the
I don't
playmaking.
have to think about it. I like respect to Brunson, but I don't have to be like, that's tough. Like no, I think Halliburton.
Disrespectful.
Do you think that's disrespectful?
Yeah, I think that is.
How is
I
it
think
disrespectful?
Brunson has shown he can
What
take
Brunson
over
has shown
games.
you
He
in the
can win you
playoffs
games.
and
I
what
mean,
he's done
last night
directly,
against
I
the
think
Wizards, it shouldn't have been a game, but he took over in the fourth
I'm
quarter.
not saying
and
it's
won that game for you.
disrespectful to take Hallie over. I'm saying the way you're making it seem like it's not a conversation.
Clearing is where I would have strong pushback. I do think Hallie is the better basketball player.
No, I don't think it's
not significant.
I don't think. Well,
I think you're saying
I would say
because of the
there's a
playmaking
tier gap. I think Jalen Brunson is an all-star, high-level all-star, probably not all-NBA. And if he does get all-NBA, it's third team kind of. That's where he'll
fringe.
fit in. Third team.
The 3-point shooting has been elite.
Luka, SGA. Those are the 2 guards that will start in the first team.
Are you going to mention De'Aaron Fox?
The second team, De'Aaron Fox is kind of been down in production recently with the Kings losing. I think Tyrese, before he got hurt, was over De'Aaron Fox. Second team to me is Tyrese Halliburton and somebody else. I'm forgetting. I'm blanking on somebody.
Not Steph.
This year, not Steph. Maybe Brunson could be the 4th guy, but
Brunson might be all NBA.
I might be forgetting one more. Let me check.
Maxey?
No,
It's
I
also
think Brunson's better
positionless
than
now.
Maxey.
All NBA's positionless this year.
Oh,
so we're
shit.
not even. We don't even got
so
to talk about
Hallie
guards.
might not be a second team guy.
Hallie could be first.
He might not be a
He's
first
not
team
going to
guy.
be first team.
Because he got
Hell,
injured?
so.
No, because you got Embiid, you got SGA, you got Luka, you got Kevin Durant. I'm blinking. Oh, Giannis.
Kevin's locked first team.
I think those. I'm just naming
Giannis,
guys. Then you got
Embiid,
Tatum.
Positionless makes it so difficult. You're right. Hallie's not first team.
He might not be second team.
Kawhi, we didn't even say.
Kawhi's been OD.
Shit.
Oh, do you think Donovan Mitchell's over Brunson right now?
Ooh.
Well, that would be the 4th guy.
That could be.
He's cleaned up the efficiency too, man.
That could be the third guy. I don't know.
Nah,
So much going on.
Donovan's been insane.
What's your 5, Riff?
I had 7 up here. I didn't really.
You didn't list them.
No, I just have 7 lists because it was tough.
Guy
Man.
doesn't do his fucking job.
No, Riff said that he wanted to just have a conversation.
I did.
He did.
I
Say
did.
that.
Is
But the topics, conversation about top 5 duos.
And you did 10.
I did exactly. I did more than my job.
I felt like
I went above
So
He
y'all
ranked-
both went outside the guidelines.
No, but he ranked them.
That's true.
He ranked
That's
10,
true.
yes, but I felt like it was difficult for me.
If you had to rank your 5, you heard our 5. If you had to rank your 5,
because I felt like it would have been a better conversation. I didn't want to hear about Kobe and fucking DeMar.
Whoa,
we were talking
whoa.
silly shit at
You think
10.
I wanted to
How
Yeah, that's what
crazy
I'm
is
saying.
that?
Like,
I didn't even talk about them. All I said was they're 10.
Silliness.
What? They
So
should be higher?
They shouldn't. It shouldn't be a matter. Like, it shouldn't be a matter, bro.
Have some fun.
All right. So if I had to rank them, I'd go Giannis and Dame at 1. Jay is at 2. Butler and Bam 3. Embiid, Maxey 4.
Okay. Just made my list.
And I'd go Brunson and Randall at 5.
is this playoffs? Or are you based
Right
on
now.
like playoff your expectations?
If I go expectations,
Well, no, just because I'm saying that list, you had Embiid and Maxey at what, 4?
Yeah.
I'm at 4.
That was the lowest all of us had.
No, I have them 4.
My apologies, just me and Joel.
His list was and mine 1 through 4 exactly the same.
Okay.
The only difference, which is why I respect this, because I'm thinking about it myself, is Randall and Brunson.
I think I
over
might put
Reese.
Brunson and Randall at 5 for the time being.
You never answered my question when I asked
Yeah, I'm
you
sorry. What was your question? I
about
apologize.
Giannis and Dame. Are they not a better duo than Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown?
That's what you asked me?
Yes.
They are a better duo.
They are. Talent-wise,
Talent-wise,
yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Okay, because earlier you said the opposite. That's why I was just asking you.
Said that?
You did say the
Yes.
J should be 1.
Yes. That's why I was going to ask you. Are they a better duo,
because I
or
think-
is just the supporting
'cause
cast
I think
around
it was
them better?
we were talking about who's been
Who's gone
further.
further.
Yeah, so I was like,
But
well, if
Giannis
that's the
has
case-
gone to the chip.
Yeah, but
And
that's
won.
why. So we talk about duo. So I was like, okay, but no. I think Giannis and Dame are yeah. Because Dame is better than Jalen Brown. Giannis is better than Tatum. That's pretty easy.
That is fine.
If the NBA All NBA team is going to be positionless, well, it is. Brunson is not getting a top 2 teams.
Are we going to talk about how
It's gonna be
positionless All NBA is one of the dumbest things the NBA's ever implemented?
All right, let me do something real quick.
Why do you think it's dumb?
Because very easily now we're just praising all the best of the best, which is fine to me. But it's something about the positions that these players play that hold significance.
So
now the point guard, now the guard position may not be as catered to as all the forwards, as the bigs in the league now. I just think that you're kind of sliding some of these guys.
So I'm gonna this is not the end all be all. I'm just looking at EPM. Estimated plus minus. So it's not the end all be all.
EPM.
Yeah, but it's not the end all be all. You know
I
what
love
I'm saying?
advanced.
Now
stats,
he's
man.
getting advanced on us.
No, because I want to get a gauge just what we think. I'm just gonna name some names that are at the top of the list and who will be, because we're talking all NBA. We're talking positionless. So Embiid is number 1 in the league. SGA is number 2 in the league. Giannis is number 3.
Legend.
Joker is number 4. Hallie's number 5. So I think the first 4, and then we would sub Luka in for Hallie. That would be all NBA first team. Then you got Hallie next. LeBron is up here. Then you got
deserves all
Kawhi.
NBA.
Then you got Donovan Mitchell. Then you got Paul George. That's why I was fucking.
So
giggling
no
over
Tatum,
it.
all NBA.
He
Not top
nah.
seven.
I think he's all NBA. I think
The
he's all
advanced
NBA.
nerds don't like him, man.
Advanced nerds do not indeed like him.
I'll tell you another player that deserves to be
You're
all
mad at
NBA.
me. You gotta.
I'm mad at
you
you,
should
Davis.
focus.
He's right behind Paul George.
Anthony Davis.
I skipped Derek White by
Do you know who else has been
where was
great?
D White?
He's right in front of AD.
DeMontis Sabonis.
He's like 9 or 10.
Every
So,
single game, his stat line is a video game.
brother, I love you, but he's not making on NBA.
He's not.
He made it last year. Why can't he make it this year?
Because it's positionless
Positionless.
now.
But that's still fine.
Don't you think Jokic and Embiid deserved first team last
See,
year?
that's another thing that I don't like about positionless is that there was a lot of players back in the day that got robbed of theirs because of position, having a position.
The stats flawed. Steph and Jalen Brown have the same EPM this year.
Throw it in the garbage.
higher?
Or
So they're the same.
Or
They're
that
like literally the
or
same.
that means that just Jalen Brown's a little bit better than
Steph
what
fell
been
off.
hooping.
That's really what it
exactly.
is.
Maybe Jalen Brown's
Follow up
just
to
a
Jalen
little
Jalen
bit-
Brown.
Brown level
I've been
is,
telling you, Jalen Brown's a poor man, Steph. I've been trying to tell you.
You didn't tell me that at all. Sabonis is. He's been playing great.
Oh my God, he's been amazing.
I thought your question was interesting that you asked him
What ask him?
about. You don't think that Embiid and Jokic deserved first All NBA team last year?
Because last year, if you could, both of them should have been All NBA first team. That's the counterpoint.
I understand what you're saying there, but at the same time, Jokic was better.
Bro never answers the question.
I'm not totally mad at him.
I'm sorry. Embiid was the MVP. He deserved the first team. But at the same time, that's just kind of how it's been. And call me a boomer if you want, but at the same time,
Should we
again,
never progress?
I don't think this is really progressing.
Basketball is positionless
Is it?
It's more positionless now than it was at least in back in
No.
the day.
because Jokic is
90
a center,
and
but
shit.
he's a point guard. He's a point guard.
And Lucas,
But on defense,
guard.
is he
Exactly.
But on defense, is he a point guard?
who?
Jokic.
Well, I think that's the argument of like there's no positions because he can be a point guard on offense and a center on defense.
But he can still be a center on offense.
That's why he's a
also.
point
I
center.
just-
There's
He's an offensive
positions. It's
unicorn.
very loose with the positions. Like it's very versatile. Because I think you still you can't have a center playing point.
Like
guard.
there are
Anthony
very
Edwards,
few players
he's
true
a
to their
2.
position.
He's a 2.
He's
No
a 2
way
guard.
around it. He's a 2. Correct.
Yes, I think he's a guard. He's a guard. He's a combo.
He
guard.
is a guard.
He's
But
a combo
I wouldn't
guard.
call him a
let's
point
bring
guard.
back combo guards.
He's a combo guard. For me, I think right now there's really no position outside of really what I'm trying to say is that there's roles because
There you go.
point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, whatever position they play, there's some players that are just 3 and D. That's their role. That's their position, quote unquote. If they're a small forward, you can have LeBron being a small forward and Dorian Finney-Smith small forward. They both play small forwards, but they're different roles. LeBron is a point guard. He's a distributor, and Finney-Smith is a catch and shoot player.
There you go.
Same thing for Jokic is a point center where, Rudy Gobert, you can't tell me that they play the same position or same role, I should say.
It's not the same role, but it is the same position. Personally, I feel.
Maybe on one side of the floor, but on the other side of the floor, it's not. On offense, it's not the same position. It's a different position. So
The thing is, I've seen Jokic have moments where it's matchup dependent, of course, but if he knows this is a matchup, I need my back to the basket, I need to get in the post and get mine, he knows that he can do that.
because while you did say, players at the position, it might, mess them up, you can also use the other argument where all the 15 best players in the NBA won't get all NBA team because we are going by the strict guidelines of position.
See, but then even another thing is that even the best 15 players might not get it because are they going to meet the requirements to make it?
I think that's the bigger issue, in my opinion, the game requirement.
65 games.
65
Because
seems like a
Embiid
good amount,
has
though.
been the best player in the NBA, in my
There's like
opinion, when
6
he's been
games
on the
left to
court.
miss, right?
I think it's either 6 or 8. Last I remember was 8 games. He has 8 games left or 6 that he's allowed to
It's
miss.
not a lot. Yeah.
The rest of the season,
mean, he shouldn't.
I get you should play, but at the same time, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that, hey, Embiid has been first team All-NBA great. Luka Doncic, who's missed a couple games, did return versus the Lakers. If he were to miss the required games, you're going to tell me that we're going to keep Luka Doncic off every single All-NBA team? So how right does that sound?
That's the bigger issue, in my opinion.
65, I think, was just too harsh.
It was a lot
I think
of
having a
games.
minimum is fine, so you don't have this argument. Well, he only played 35 games, but 65, that's a lot of the season, especially for
Kawhi
Embiid,
Leonard did this to the NBA.
who has to kind of sit.
He's been
here,
actually hurt.
And it's not his fault. Exactly.
and he's actually healthy now for the first time this
we locked
65
in.
game
It
is.
was
He said, I got to get my money.
You said,
Or
yeah,
he
he
got
got-
paid.
Oh, he got paid.
Yeah, he
He's
got
good.
paid.
Yeah.
He actually took a pay cut.
He didn't take the super max,
Yeah,
right?
he took a little pay cut. Now PG about to take the pay cut. Then Harden gonna sign in the summer.
Harden said he wants to stay there for the rest of his
He
career.
should after we win a chip.
Being a Harden fan, man, full circle moment. I really
You falling off.
This
Who's
is,
the
I
Harden-
would
who's the
have
Harden fan?
never believed it.
I'm
4 years
honestly,
ago.
I feel like I'm taking the reins on that.
No, you're not.
Not he's
No
a
shot
Clippers.
in hell,
I would no way I would
He's a
be.
Clipper.
I would have never envisioned this from Red 4 years ago.
Listen, when you join my guys,
This is crazy.
in the quest to win a ring.
Another aside, Cam Reddish, back to mid.
Oh, hate that for him. Come to LA.
I hate it too.
To the other
He's
LA.
already in
He was
now.
just
The
all
other LA.
defense.
I don't
did
know
he
if
do
this
for
is
you guys?
100% accurate, but I feel like I remember that one time I asked you if Harden went to Golden State, would you be a fan of his?
I said no.
And you said no.
I said fuck no.
Yes.
No. That was no.
He can't come to Golden State and fuck up a good thing.
Can't go to fuck no.
No, he just didn't like Harden. It didn't matter where he went.
I didn't
just-
even like KD when he came to Golden State.
That's true.
Then he blessed your boy with 2 more, and you were
He
just
also
like, thanks.
robbed my boy of 2 NBA first teams.
Sabonis is averaging 20, 13, and 8.
Damn, he didn't make first team in 17 and 18?
Nah.
That's disgusting.
I think one of them maybe, but I know for sure one of them he didn't make it because they was doing the whole playing superstars together. Are they really that impactful? You know, same shit they did with LeBron and D-Wade.
But first team All NBA is ridiculous. But LeBron's still first team All NBA.
1-on-1.
You're right.
Sabonis is averaging 20, 13, and 8.
I know.
Stupid numbers.
I know.
Ballin'.
I'm really
We're talking
trying to
about
give him that acknowledgement. He deserves.
Balling.
All NBA. Yeah, he can. He
Yes.
has a debate, argument.
He's been a top 4 or
Getting on
5
that,
center in the
it's So
league.
many good players in the league.
20,
It's tough.
13, and 8.
He's been a top 4, top 5 center in the league this season.
But that's the thing.
I think you could be a top 4, top 5
You
center,
could
not
still
be a
not
top
make it.
15 player in the league.
That's true.
I don't know these numbers. He's gonna play the required games. That's for sure.
That might help him get in.
I know.
That might help him get in. How
That's
much
a
is
fact.
Alfred Sengun?
I was just gonna say he's been playing better than
That's
Shaquille.
another dude. If
29 and 5, I'm going to guess.
okay, because I can't spell his name, so we're gonna just
CNG.
found it. Ha ha ha.
Isn't it
He's
SCNG
averaging.
one?
See, look, 22, 9, and 5.
I was wrong on the points. I was so close.
You were close.
Damn.
Comparable. I mean, Sabonis having a better year statistically, but
More
comparable.
rebounds and 3 more assists.
Should not really moving me, gang member.
Şengün is amazing, though.
He's a dog.
He's awesome. He's
very
probably not
good.
going to be an all-star this year, though.
Yo, that Photoshop Pascal Siakam is fire.
Yeah, shout out to John, man. So,
Look at SG.
graphic.
Damn, he cooked.
Yeah.
Because you know, Ant-Man's probably gonna be 13.
Don't shout out to Riv. He might start poking.
Yeah, I know. Anthony Edwards has to be more consistent.
You seen
He's
this
shooting.
flick, Riv? Are you guy?
That's not good enough.
Oh,
You wish he was shirtless and
Not
his
shirtless,
Skims?
but definitely
he
showed
wants
the
the Skims
headband.
commercial to be the picture back there.
Showed the
Damn!
headband. That was a good video, man.
Just have the video on loop.
Guess what? After that video, y'all had Scott Skims.
I'd gotten Skims before.
No,
that.
I did
Nah,
get
that was
Skims
that was
before.
after the video.
Nah, it was
That
before.
video, oh,
I got it for my birthday, so whenever that is. My birthday is summer
that
9.
video.
But when you sent the video, I'm saying it
No,
was before you sent the video.
to be fair, he didn't send it. I
he
I
sent-
got
that's
this
facts,
video
I sent
from
it
Discord.
way before he
Yes.
found it. So
I was wondering where he got that from.
I got it from Discord.
He was
Who'd you
trying to
send
have
it
it
to?
hidden from the
Just
depths
send
of
it
sent
hell.
to the
Discord,
Discord?
I was
You're
watching I was watching the game, and SGA just popped up as a commercial. I was like, the
You
fuck?
rewind on your TV. So
No, I didn't rewind it, but I was just like, damn.
Slow-mo?
Like, I didn't know he had all that. I was like, damn. Man.
Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah, he-
That's insane.
This week in the NBA, Drew, I believe you have something special.
I
for us.
do. I do. Now, there's been a certain player that we spoke about earlier in the show that has been playing some unbelievable basketball. And I'm talking about Jalen Williams, Mr. J-Dub himself. Over the last, let's say, 15 games. I think you already went over the stats. Almost 22, 6, and 4. He's been amazing. But let's do a would you rather. Jalen Williams edition. J-Dub, for those that don't get confused. First name up, Jaylen Brown.
I'm still going with Jaylen Brown, but I understand the conversation. J-Dub is 22 years old, elite both ways, and he's gotten a lot better offensively this year.
Jalen Brown's been hooping for sure. J-Dub definitely. Damn. I'm gonna go J-Dub. I think
I know where this guy's going.
I knew where he was going.
Nah, because I don't want to.
Jalen Brown.
No, it's not even that.
Yeah,
J-Dub.
You do hate Jalen Brown.
He's far more advanced when Jalen Brown was 22
His
and
game is
J-Dub was
smoother.
22. His game is
100%.
indeed smoother. He has a lot of room to grow.
Better handle.
I'm not. See, I just think
You don't think
Jalen Brown.
better
No, I do. I think Jalen Brown has improved tremendously,
Yes.
but I think J-Dub is probably going to be better than him. So I'm gonna go J-Dub.
Yeah, I'm going Jalen Williams as well. He's one of the smoothest players in the league, man.
It's a clearing.
No, it's not a clearing.
Because a lot of people in my
think
comments
it's a
today were
clearing.
telling me it was a clearing.
I think
no
what we're doing is
conversation.
projecting. That's
I'm
what I
fine with
think,
that.
yeah.
Which is
It's not a clearing. Right now, Jalen Brown's a better player. I think Jalen Williams will be the better player. It won't take long for him to get there.
can average 28.
28?
Yeah.
That's what Jalen Brown's averaging this year?
No,
No,
last
last
year.
year he did.
He averaged 27 last year.
Well,
26?
27. No, I think it was
It
27.
was 27 points.
I don't think he needs to average 20 to be better than him.
I'm all right. Because to get to that point, like you say, you got to take a little bit. You got to give and you got to take.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Jalen Brown, but I understand your guys'
Not
logic.
shocked.
Not shocking at all. Next name, Brandon Ingram.
Jalen Williams.
Oh shit! I thought we were. J-Dub.
Damn.
I understand
easy
Brandon
for
Ingram.
y'all?
Now Brandon Ingram hasn't been playing.
I like Brandon Ingram. He's a good player. Just once again, same thing with Jalen Brown. It's the same thing. J-Dub's more advanced at his age. I just think he'll be a better player than these guys.
I'm going to take Brandon Ingram, but I understand J-Dub's potential. But
Does it feel like Brandon Ingram is kind of
stalling.
peaked?
It does feel like he has peaked.
Right? Like he's reached what he can be.
But it's not a bad thing.
It's not.
It's
That's
not
an all-star.
Because the peak is an all-star.
Can
But I
Jalen
don't know if-
Williams be the one on a team and bring them to the playoffs?
Playing?
I think.
Playoffs?
Eighth. They were the 8th seed 2 years ago.
Oh, this was
Well, I would
Didn't
say
Zion do a shit ton of work that year?
No.
no. It was Ingram because Zion was hurt.
But they was in a play, right?
J-Dub.
No,
lead
they
you
were
to
the
an
8th seed against the Suns, and that it was a 6-game
I
series.
thought that was the first year we were playing. Pardon me.
Zion did play a lot that year
No.
because that wasn't Zion's rookie year.
No.
was Zion's second
this
year.
this was 2 years ago. Not last year where Zion played 31. This
You're
was the
switching it
season
up?
that he was out entirely.
This past season,
No.
the year before.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
2 years ago when they were the 8th seed versus the Suns.
When the Warriors won the chip.
2022.
He didn't play at all.
He did not play at all.
Come on, I know my Pelicans.
Jalen Williams to
You know
me,
what?
I'm taking him over Brandon
Zion,
Ingram.
bro, come on.
Got it.
I think Brandon Ingram to me, I don't know if he's an all NBA caliber player. And the question about Jalen Williams about if he could be a number one option on a team that is a play-in team
Playoff team.
or play-in playoff.
No, they made the
got-
playoffs.
They're the 8th seed.
Would have been a play.
That was year what? I think that was year 6. Brandon Ingram.
It was. Took him some
Yeah,
time.
year 6, 7, and I think Jalen Williams like in 2 years could be that. Yeah, I got Jalen Williams.
Okay. I lean J-Dub.
All right, next name, Scotty Barnes.
Ooh, it's getting spicy.
Jalen Williams fits teams so
Cap,
much better.
That was the playing year.
What playing year?
They played them playing.
I understand that.
Yeah.
They beat the Clippers.
That was the year Paul George got COVID, literally the day
No,
before the
I didn't cap. They were the 8th seed.
Oh, yeah, yes. No, they were, well, technically they were the 9th.
Okay, but you understand what I mean. They made the playoffs.
36 and 46. I'm not fucking moved.
36
They were
and
36 and
46 is
46.
crazy.
No, but they gave the Suns
Reggie-
a good series.
Oh, yeah. They
And that
beat-
was also post CJ McCollum, and CJ McCollum was playing some
they
great
beat
ball
Reggie
for
Jackson
them.
to play. Yeah, I'm not moved.
But they gave
played
the
the John
Suns
Timmer.
a great
For
series.
sure, yeah.
36 and 46 leading the team to the playoffs. That's not that
Yeah,
impressive.
I'm not moved.
But what
36
did
and
Brandon
46
Ingram
is
do in that series?
Okay, sure,
played-
but
you know, he
That's
played-
all I
you
care
win
about.
10
But you
games
said
The whole
below 500.
conversation was
led
Brandon
them is
Ingram.
kinda, maybe CJ was probably the one that led
I was thinking
them.
it was at least 41 and 41.
No.
36 and 46
That's
is nuts, I'll
that.
be
Yeah,
honest.
But they made it to the playoffs.
but they made it though
Dude,
because
CJ led them,
Yes,
didn't he?
yes,
It was
that's what I-
CJ when he got
he
traded.
averaged 26 and 10 when he got traded.
look at what Brandon Ingram did.
They were 36 and 46. What did he do
In
exactly?
the playoffs, he fried the number 2 defensive player of the year
You're
player
talking about
that
the
year.
playoffs.
Fraudulent
Hold on.
ever
Listen to this. CJ McCollum, when he got to the Pelicans, he played 26 games. Brandon Ingram was there for 55.
Mm-hmm.
When CJ got to the Pelicans, he averaged 24 a game, 4.5 rebounds,
26, so you
5.8 assists. Brandon Ingram averaged 22.7, 5.2 rebounds, and 5.6 assists. So CJ played better than Brandon Ingram statistically.
but
after
not
he
in the
got traded.
playoffs.
Well,
I mean, it's a 6-game
no,
sample.
not in the playoffs, but
I'm not.
Brandon Ingram did not lead them, though. That's what
But
we're
he
saying.
also was being guarded by the guy who came in second place in DPOY, and he
The more we
fried
look
him.
at that guy, though, the more we think that's actually
No, but you made it sound like he
never
carried a squad to the 8th
understand.
seed.
I
That didn't
understand.
happen.
Well, they did. They were the 8th seed.
They were 10 games below
Didn't Book
500.
get injured that series?
No.
Yes.
No, they was
Against the
healthy.
Pelicans, Devin Booker, he missed some games. Yes, he did. Yeah, nah.
Let me check.
You ain't gonna get me, Bubba. Yes,
It was
he
a
did.
6-game series.
And he missed a game or two. Yes, he did.
All right, let's see. Maybe
he
I'm
did.
wrong.
Right.
He only played 3 games.
Oh, fuck out of here,
baby.
Yeah, I know.
He ain't leave
What he
nothing.
really
All
do?
right, Scotty
stop
Barnes. Did you guys never answer the question at hand?
We
was
were
funny.
cooking you. Now we're back.
We had to do our
Scotty's
research
tough.
to get in the lab.
This guy's
Well,
sick.
someone led a comment, and I'm sure it led Riv to doing some research.
No, I'm actually a basketball reference.
Good for you. Well done.
Scotty's tough.
I'm going to take Scotty personally.
This was close.
It is.
Can play make, so can J-Dub. But at the
The
same
problem is,
time,
I don't
better
think Scotty could
playmaker.
be a number one.
So you're taking Scotty over
I don't
Jalen
know
Brown?
if J-Dub could be a number one.
That's what I'm thinking. But Scotty's
You're
in the
not?
number one
Okay.
role right now, so it kind of looks
Yeah,
funny. Yeah,
because
so-
like you got Siakam there, but SGA's taking on more than Siakam was.
But I think Jalen Williams could fit better into a number 2-3 role than Scotty.
I agree with that.
that's where me and Dehls was like, chopping up. I think I'm gonna go J-Dub here.
I probably lean J-Dub.
I would lean J-Dub too.
all right. Tobias Harris.
Recency
J-Dub.
bias, man. That was crazy. Jalen Williams.
Had to name him. Tobias Harris. I would
That was
definitely
crazy.
go with
Was
J-Dub.
J-Dub.
Tobias been great. DeMar DeRozan.
J-Dub.
Jalen
What the fuck are
Williams.
we doing here?
I'm naming small forwards.
We need difficult.
He's 34.
More
This is
difficult.
the positionless guy, or the guy who's so focused on position doesn't do it with these guys.
Desmond Bain.
Ooh,
Desmond Bain right now.
I like.
I would go J-Dub
That's
personally.
interesting.
Actually,
J-Dub.
nah.
Yeah,
Hold on.
'cause
I'll be
if you take
taking
Jalen,
J-Dub.
you didn't take Jalen Brown.
That's
you
true.
can't
That's
take
true.
Desmond Bain.
That's true. That's true.
I'll take
Yeah,
J-Dub.
right. Yeah, right. I'll take Jalen Williams.
Chris Middleton.
J-Dub.
It's not even a
Jalen
thought
Williams.
process. I'm not gonna answer.
Keegan Murray.
J-Dub.
J-Dub.
Jalen Williams.
All right, that's really it.
I just took Jalen Brown over him.
I wish we
Everyone
had
else,
some
though.
in there that we didn't take J-Dub. Maybe that's a testament to
Which is why I said Jalen Brown, Brandon Ingram, because I still think I like these guys more.
Those are his. Those would probably be his groupings in a couple years.
Which
maybe
is
it's a
why I
testament
named them.
to how great J-Dub is going to be, or we're just being
Blazers.
We're
very
early
high
to the
on
party,
J-Dub.
or we're glazing.
Yes.
I think you guys, I'm fine with your guys' thought process.
the
He's been
most
amazing.
comments though will be the top comment on this video will be recency bias though on TikTok.
I
That's,
said, how many hotcakes or J-Dub?
oh, I have to go with J-Dub.
I'll go with J-Dub.
Recency bias,
wasn't
man.
moving
Y'all
at
so
all.
recency bias. How you gonna take him over Jalen Brown? I'm thinking about it right
I
now.
wouldn't do it.
Would you take him over Brandon Ingram?
I've admitted.
I said Brandon
projecting
Ingram.
Yeah, 'cause
Nah,
you
yeah.
hate.
I took Brandon Ingram. I took Jalen Brown. I
guess I
took
can't
Scotty
project
Barnes.
anymore,
Other than that, every other player.
I'm
I took
looking forward
J-Dub.
to the public perception on J-Dub. What do you think it's going to be? You think people are going to be mad that we took him
No.
over all these guys?
I really think he's a fan favorite.
I feel like that's true, but I feel like people always say we overreact whenever we do something like this.
Yeah.
Bro, I told you. I put a poll up. Who would you rather long term, Jalen Brown or
J-Dub
J-Dub?
won the poll. I
How
voted
much?
J-Dub.
56.4 to 43.6.
I think it's different with J-Dub because he's not this high profile guy or this high profile prospect. Like
You got a TikTok,
people were
though.
violence for Caleb because Caleb was like, he kind of get glazed a lot, but it's Caleb. But for J-Dub, he's kind of low profile. Everybody likes him. His game is smooth. So I think this one will be easy.
He's quiet too. It's not
Yo,
like
Shit, quiet,
shit,
he's
shit just
chilling.
got viral too because Halliburton is back tonight.
Yeah, and Siakam's
And Pascal is making his debut.
nice.
They're
They're playing Portland, which
yeah.
is a little bit
Fuck, I
sweet.
need
I
something
know, would
better.
have liked some gas, but still, it's kind of
Who do they play
crazy.
next game?
Let me check for you.
I needed some gas.
I got this week in the NBA. I got two. One quick one. Real quick. Do you know who leads the NBA in rebounds for 48 minutes?
Jared Allen,
No.
DeMontis
number
Sabonis.
one.
Number one.
Oh shit! Oh, I thought we were doing the top 10.
Leads the
No,
league.
no
easy.
minute required.
Rudy
That's
Gobert?
easy. That's easy.
It's somebody in the
that's easy.
Celtics, bro. He's not slick, bro. You can tell by his smile. It's somebody on the Celtics. I know it's not Luke fucking Cornett. All right.
Jalen Brown,
No.
Porzingis.
No.
Tatum.
Sam fucking
No,
Hauser.
no.
Derek White.
Nope. It's a 19-year-old.
Jordan Wall.
Jordan Wall.
Oh my god!
I said Jalen Wolves.
He played
Jalen
3
Wolves.
minutes the other night and got 4 rebounds. But my actual this week in the NBA, shout out to NBA University. He put this tweet out. I found it interesting. Want to get your guys' thoughts. If the NBA did a real-life dynasty draft right now, who is your top 5 picks?
It would be Jokic. It would be Giannis. It'd be Luka, Tatum.
Let's do it. I want to hear an order.
Wait. Who is your five again?
Wait, what's the question?
It's Jokic.
If the NBA did a real-life dynasty draft,
Oh, Luka goes 1.
Who's top 5 picks? I put Jokic out of respect for
Luka goes 1.
if you feel that way.
No, he definitely goes 1 because he's younger than all of them. He's fucking.
Well, Jokic
he's
is
a
28.
phenom, like,
He's 28.
I'm saying, but Luka's like 20.
Giannis is 28. Still
I
young.
think Luka goes 1. I think the Joker goes 2. I think Giannis goes 3.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I think SGA might go 4, and I think Tatum might go 5.
I would reverse the two of them, but those are the 5 players.
so there's one name that he listed that you guys haven't, but do you want to give yours?
Anthony Edwards.
Can I try to guess? who he
I
listed?
think I know who it is.
It's Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think Victor goes top 5. I think he goes top 10.
He had NBA University had Jokic 1, Luka 2, SGA 3, Giannis 4, Wemby 5. Honorable mention: Tatum, Booker, Embiid, Edwards, Hallie, Paulo, Chet.
that would have been my 5. I think Wemby's over Tatum in the dynasty draft.
I get it.
Hey, I respect Tatum.
Bro,
I
you see what
respect.
he's
That's
been
what I'm.
doing?
Yeah, no, he's been
No,
OD.
Wemby's insane.
He's
Since
been
moving
OD.
to center,
Yeah, 24 points per game,
in
right?
24 minutes.
Yep.
He's unbelievable. Yeah, and at
Tatum's
being a
pretty
rookie,
ridiculous too.
Yes.
no, he is, but Wemby is
He's fucking
is-
7'5".
he's a
Did you
different
see? And also, that
animal,
was
I'll
going to be my
honest.
this week in the NBA, and so I did the would
But
you
I think-
rather. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Just,
I'm
no,
sorry.
just go ahead, speak, bro.
I'm sorry, Drew. This is just basketball. It's a little. I'm sorry. I think if you take Wemby over, if you take Wemby over Tatum, you got to take Wemby over SGA.
You do.
I believe that. I don't
So
think
you have
there's-
Wemby 3.
No, I didn't have my 5, but I'm saying I had both. I had Tatum. If I had Wemby, it would be like 6, 7. I don't think there's a world where you look at Tatum, SGA, and you look at Wemby, you like, yeah, Wemby's over Tatum, but he's not over SGA. I don't think SGA, and I love SGA. I don't think he provides this different stratosphere as opposed to Tatum, to where you put him over Wemby.
I think the argument against that is this: when it comes to Tatum and Wemby, I think what favors SGA in a conversation is that he can be an offensive initiator. I think that's what favors him.
Okay.
So if you are first drafting a player, you want a player that can initiate the offense and be the point guard for the team.
That's fair.
So
Tatum had 14 assists in an NBA Finals game.
He did. Game 1.
with Wemby and
ignored it.
Wemby and Jason
It
Tatum,
was an ugly game.
they're both
They
not
won.
facilitators.
I don't know how.
Tatum's a great defender, but Wemby has a chance to
math
like
threes
he
in
could
the
turn
fourth
around
quarter.
a defense. And then offensively, the skill set that Wemby has is really unbelievable. So is Tatum's. But so I think with SGA, it's just the playmaking aspect of it. Like, we can rely on this guy to get an offensive initiator, because with Wemby, you have to now start thinking about players who can
But
initiate.
you also
for him.
have to build the team, because SGA cannot shoot. Let me not say he can't shoot, but his 3-point game isn't that great. So you have to build the team with a much spacing as opposed differently to Tatum. But I get what you're saying. It makes sense. Yeah, my 5 would be that though. I don't think I had.
Was
Wemby
Luka
in my
1 for
5.
all of you? Or you had
I had Luka
one?
3.
Oh,
I
Luka's
think
1 for me.
Luka 1 is fair for me too.
I'm cool with that.
I think 2, Jokic, Giannis. I don't know, man. I really think that Wemby has an argument to be like top 3.
I'm fine with that too.
Who would you take him over?
Giannis.
Just the disrespect on an
knew that
NBA
was coming.
champion.
I really did.
Is crazy.
I don't know about that.
It's not disrespect.
No, it is.
you're basically
It is.
you're risking at Wemby's age to have a decade of being
Somebody being
a
compared to
championship
Shaq.
contender compared to Giannis, who is going to be competing for championships. The window is not as long as
That's
Wemby's.
a tough one. I don't think he could be in top 3. I think top 5 is respectable. Top 3 is I don't know.
If you had a guarantee that he will not get hurt, you wouldn't take Wemby over Giannis. And if dynasty draft, you're starting tomorrow.
I think I'd still
Like, you
take
guarantee he doesn't get
a
hurt.
guarantee he doesn't get hurt for his career.
Giannis. There's no guarantee, unfortunately.
I know, but there's no guarantee for no player.
I'm
You
going
know
to
what I'm
take
saying?
Giannis. I'm taking Giannis.
There's no guarantee for no player.
2-time MVP,
I'd probably
defensive
take
player
Giannis.
of the year,
I'd
finals
probably
MVP.
still take Giannis.
Come on,
But
now.
Wemby's in the top 5 discussion. That's all the
Wemby's
credit to him.
amazing.
That he deserves that.
He is.
So let's
That's
just
the
leave
case.
it
Where
at
the
that.
fuck is Chet at?
They said he was
He
like
said
elite.
honorable
Chet.
mention. Tennis.
Why?
That's very high.
Why can't he be?
That was going to be my.
Why can't he be up there?
That's what I was
What
saying.
has Victor shown you that Chet hasn't? You know what I'm saying?
Victor this last, like, month or so has been pretty
Other
crazy.
than hype and people, glazing and overrating, what has Victor shown you that Chet hasn't shown you?
Overrating.
Not overrating, but in the sense of like saying like it's because I don't think there's an insane gap between both of these players.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so. I think Chet has been hooping. Victor's been hooping for.
You think that there's a gap in the ceiling of these two players, though?
I mean,
Because I think there is.
ceiling. There's a gap between Zion and 30 other players in terms of ceiling, but who's really going to reach it?
But Zion is a bit of a different guy.
I don't think so.
I think I don't have the injury concerns with Wemby like I did with Zion.
You don't know that yet.
No, I do. Victor takes care of his body great.
It's so early though.
You can
It's
take care of
early
your body
though,
all the
but
time.
he takes care of his body great, and I think just the skill set he has, what he could do defensively, is already more than Chet.
But what Chet can do defensively is
But
just
what the
as good.
defense? Probably.
Chet's a better shooter.
Probably.
Too. I think he's got better touch.
Chet can dribble. This ain't no regular deck. This is a dude that can
Whoa.
dribble with him.
So can Wemby.
Why
I
are you
like
acting like
Chet.
I'm saying he can't?
No, but it just sounds like you're saying that Chet does it better, and just like
That's
not that Wemby can. That's how it sounds.
I think Chet does dribble better.
No,
but I
it
understand what you're
sounds
saying.
like I'm saying we saying Victor can do these things and Chet can't, which is
no,
wrong.
I don't agree
'Cause
with
I think
that.
Chet
Yeah.
can do these things. He can dribble.
I agree.
He's shown that he can shoot the ball.
Can.
He's shown that he can also anchor a defense,
Definitely.
an actual good defense. Of
For
course,
sure.
they have the players also. I'm not gonna just.
I know what you mean.
Spurs don't.
So
have
the
the players.
ceiling is not a gap for you between those two players.
What's the ceiling for Victor? Top 5, top 3, best in the world?
MVP.
And what's Chet? All right, like top 10, top 8?
I think that's a gap though between the top 8 and like.
I mean, if you're a
MVP.
top, I guess it's a little gap. I'm not really like moved by.
Am I crazy for saying Victor Ceiling is MVP of the league?
No.
I think he'd be an MVP.
Chet can be an MVP.
Can be.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think Chet could be more defensive players of the years, like multiple.
The thing is,
also
Chet.
the
Check
opportunity these two guys
Wemby
are
can
gonna
look be
get.
both.
Have you
He
seen
can,
Chet
but
splits?
this is the
They're
thing.
nuts.
When winning both, bro, how many players have won both MVP and defense? Like even LeBron
Yes,
did it.
well,
So to say Victor
the
could just
guy
outright
who
do it.
you're trying to kick out of top 3 has done it.
No, I'm talking
The
about,
Spurs
yeah,
are
that's what I'm
also
saying.
building their team around Wemby, and
Yeah.
the Thunder are building it around SGA.
Yeah, when will Chet ever get the opportunity to be like an MVP guy?
You're saying
It's gonna be tough
caliber
for him.
type player. Chet has the tools to do that.
If I'm
I
Chet,
don't know.
I'm trying to
And
stick
the
with
splits-
SGA
the
as long as I
splits are-
run this West.
Insane.
Yeah, he's awesome. I think Chet is awesome, but he's also playing.
Efficiencies.
He's also playing off of
Yes.
one of the best players in the world.
He is.
You know,
The whole
right now.
team is nuts.
See, but
One of
that's
the
what
best
I was
teams in
going
the
to
league.
say. That was going to be my this week in the NBA before the Would You Rather. The new Kia ladder says that the Rookie of the Year is Victor Wembanyama. I wanted to
playing-
get your guys' opinion on that, but it's clear the opinions are clear that I don't know if I would say he's. I'm not against him being one, but at the same time, Chet Holmgren has just been such a all-around player on top of being an efficient player as well. Yes, he's the number 2 on his team. Victor Wembanyama is the number 1 on a terrible team. But I feel like that also is in due part to the conversation of you see the success that he's added to OKC. Is he the best player? No. Have they gotten significantly better because of his presence? I do firmly believe that.
For sure. I mean, Chet didn't play last year. Chet plays this year. They're like a top 2 seed.
I know.
top 3 seed. So that's not all directed to him, but
No,
he's one of the
no,
main
no.
catalysts.
He
of that.
is.
He is.
And Victor, Jesus Christ, Victor does have game like franchise changing
Absolutely.
potential
Of
for
course,
sure.
yeah. Absolutely.
But I don't think it's crazy to think that Chet also may not have the MVP franchise changing, but he has defensive changing potential for a
Definitely.
franchise.
Adding Chet to your team, I think down the road, hopefully he stays with Thunder, but you acquire him, you're looking at him like this is a piece that's going to get us to a championship. Like I think Chet has that type of capability.
I
got
think every
excellent
year
footwork.
this argument for Rookie of the Year, I don't really love it, especially when it's close between 2 players, because I feel like people take it too seriously.
Yeah.
it's an award that really doesn't matter in the long scheme of things, in the long term of things. It doesn't really
I
matter.
got 50 on Chet to win Rookie of the Year, so it matters to me.
You got to bet. Okay, I understand.
I
That.
mean, I feel like the reason why they gave Scotty the award because he was winning. He was on a playoff team.
That's what I'm saying. But like, Cade was the better player. that year.
Cade was the better rookie that year.
And I don't think that
Marginally.
wins and losses should be
For a rookie, it should
why
not.
you justify a rookie winning the award. I think Victor Wembanyama, as of recently, has been playing better than Chet. Ever since he moved to center, he's been a different player. 24-9 with I think 4 blocks per game in 24 minutes. I mean, what he's doing is unreal in the amount of times that he's doing it, and he doesn't have a talented team around him. The player that fits best with him is Trey Jones. You know, he might not even be like the 8th guy on OKC.
It's a fact.
You thought they'd hunt for the play, and I remember that.
I thought Wemby would be that great, and he is. But
He
the
is
team,
great, just
the
the
team
rest
is worse
of
than I
That
thought.
team is so bad.
Until they trade for Trey Young.
That's what they say.
And apparently get LeBron. Kill me now.
That'd be cool.
Building a super team.
Trade LeBron.
But that's why I think Wemby should be over
I'd
Chet.
have to sit in a dark room and figure out what
I think
I'm
if
gonna
the
do.
criteria is consistent, then Chet should be one, but it's not going to be consistent. You know, they're not going to let Victor not win.
So you think Wemby's been the best rookie this year?
No. What I'm saying is, I think the way they've done it is they've been inconsistent with it. If Chet wins it, it'll be because the same way Scotty won it. You know, but I agree with you. I think Rookie of the Year, you should not give a single fuck about how many wins the team has, because essentially most rookies are the top rookies are on bad teams, so they're not going to win a lot of games. You should see how their progression is throughout the year, how they played, who's been the best rookie. So Victor has been the best rookie. Chet at one point was playing a little bit better than Victor, but now Victor is back in it and he's been playing better, and you keep it how it goes.
I have this week in the NBA. Can you guys guess the top 10 NBA players in 3-point percentage this season?
Buddy Hield is up there.
Jalen Brunson's up here.
One at a time. One at a time.
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson is not top 10.
Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
Oh,
Buddy Hield is not top 10.
KD.
Kevin Durant's number 1.
Kevin Durant's number 3.
How many attempts do they get?
KD's at 4.6.
No. I'm asking, was there a limit on attempts, or is just like,
There's no limit on attempts, but everybody here is taking more than 3.
damn, yo, Jalen Brunson's shooting like 42%. And he's not up here.
Hallie?
Tyrese Halliburton is not
Yeah, I
here.
didn't think so too.
Duncan Robinson.
Duncan Robinson's not here.
Untouchable. Case and Wallace.
Untouchable was
Case and Wallace is not here.
We'll get here. Don't worry, it's a lot of dudes, but we'll get
Kawhi.
here.
Kawhi Leonard is 11.
Damn.
James Harden.
James Harden is not here.
Okay, he's also shooting like 43%.
Paul George is shooting like 41, so I'm not even going to say
Everybody here shooting above 44%.
Fucking hell.
Lord.
that. Derek White?
Derek White is not here. Think about specialists.
Sam Howes. He's not.
He
shooting
named the
40%.
specialist. Fuck.
Curry's not even here.
He's not. No, he's like a 40. He's like
He's shooting
39
like
right now.
I thought it was 40ish.
You got one so far. You got Kevin Durant.
That was easy.
Oh, Grayson Allen.
Grayson Allen's number 1.
Wow.
Goodness gracious.
And they want to trade him. They're fucking crazy.
Well, they're trying to get a star probably.
Don't tell me. Don't say a word. I'm gonna get this. Jordan Hawkins.
Jordan Hawkins is not here.
I was
MPJ.
for a second.
MPJ's not here.
No, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this.
Are most of them role players or star players?
We
Or
talked
split.
about one recently, just now on this
Maxey?
podcast. No.
Mitchell.
Chet?
Chet, no.
Tobias Harris.
Tobias, no.
No, he's shooting 37.
Stinky.
They are role players, though. Most of them. Kevin Durant, actually, yes. Kevin Durant was the only star.
Okay.
Damn.
Which makes sense.
Thinking of
Beasley.
Malik Beasley's number 2.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a
He's
good
been
one. That's a good
hooping.
So y'all got 1, 2, 3. Allen, Beasley, Durant. That's 1, 2, 3.
one. Okay. This gonna take some time. Let's lock in, fellas.
I'm angry. I'm actually not happy right now.
There is a player that plays on the Clippers.
Norman
Norman
Powell?
Norman Powell is number 8.
Wow.
That boy be straight. He shoots some bad threes.
Casey
too.
Wallace was a great guess, Joel.
Yeah, He's been fucking. He must be at like 40.
Corey Kispert.
Corey Kispert is not here. This shooter does play for a bad team, though.
Bad team.
Bogdanovich?
You see that?
Kobe White.
No.
Neither of them?
We're not bad.
No.
You're kidding.
painfully-
No.
I know. You're
painfully mid.
Or you're 2023 actually.
Yeah.
That's kinda
Painfully
sad.
mid.
Neither of them's crazy because both of them, well, mostly Bogdan has
One of the worst teams in the league.
Devin Vassell?
No, he's on the team, though.
So it's not Brand Malachi. Is
No.
it Malachi? No.
Terry Rozier shooting 38%.
No.
I know, he's
It's on
shooting
the Spurs,
38.
it's on the Spurs. It's not
On
Victor.
the Spurs.
It's not
Trey
Calvin.
Jones.
It's not Vassell, you said?
No,
Doug
it's not the same.
McDermott.
Doug McDermott is number 6.
We're gonna get there. All right. 7. Where's he at? East or West?
we need.
I'll tell you, there's 2 players here left that are in the Eastern Conference.
TJ McConnell.
TJ McConnell, no.
Playoff teams?
Plays for the Pacers.
Damn. Is it
Andrew Nemhard.
Yeah.
Nope.
Benedict.
Nope.
No. Is it Naismith?
It's Neesmith
Fucking
at number
dope.
4.
That's a good pick. Is Malcolm Brogdon up there?
He's not up here. It's another player that plays in the Eastern Conference on a team that recently has been struggling. It's your former guy.
He
You
has
play
so
for
many-
your team.
he has so many-
Caruso?
Not Caruso.
Fuck no. He has so many mid guys. It's really hard.
I know.
THT.
No.
Nah, not THT.
Laurie's not up here.
Nah,
Right?
it's not Kuz.
No.
KCP?
Or- Nope.
He said good that
No, he said mid.
they've
Didn't say
fallen
good.
off.
The team's
That
falling
they
off.
is it the Magic?
Nope.
Nets.
Nets, yes. He's
It's on the Nets. It's Dorian Finney-Smith.
No.
No,
Royce
is it,
O'Neal.
It's Cam?
No.
Royce
No.
O'Neal. The fuck?
He said used to be on my squad.
Yeah, there's one more.
Didn't we?
No.
No.
Good God, no.
Why am I blanking on them so harsh right now?
I can't think of who's
Lonnie.
Lonnie
Yes.
He's top 10?
Yeah, he's number 7. He's 45.5.
Nah, he's
Isaiah
stroking
Joe
it.
up there.
Isaiah Joe's not here, but Isaiah Joe is number 16. He's high. So you have 1, 2, 3 players left, all in the Western Conference.
Cool.
All in the West. Okay.
And you said not Laurie?
Keegan Murray.
Keegan Murray's not here.
Kevin Herter.
Nah,
Kevin Huerter's not
like
here.
37.
Fucking bum.
These 2 players play for the top 2 seeds in the West right now.
Okay.
So it wasn't Isaiah Joe. It
Nas
wasn't
Reed.
Jason.
Not really.
Nas
Not
would be
really.
crazy.
There's one on the Timberwolves though. One player.
I know it ain't Kyle Anderson.
No. Why was that you make your guess? It's not Conley.
That'll be the next
Is it
rotation.
Conley?
It is Mike Conley.
Yeah.
Mike Conley shooting 45.2% from 3.
So then one person on the Thunder.
Yes.
I said Isaiah Joe.
It's not, and it's not Kaysen.
Isaiah Joe, Kaysen.
It's not J.
It's
J-Dub?
Dort?
It's J-Dub. J-Dub is
Oh.
shooting 46.5% from 3.
Yeah, he's going to clear Jalen.
46.6% from three. I apologize.
Oh, my
So right now, there's one more left. Is number 10. The top 9 is Grayson, Malik Beasley, KD, Neesmith, Jalen Williams, Doug McDermott, Lonnie Walker, Norman Powell, Mike Conley, and number 10 plays for a Western Conference team that's like in the playoff mix. Not like a contender, but in the playoff
All right,
mix.
on
Tim
the
Hardaway
Lakers.
Jr.
No,
Nope.
he's on the Lakers.
You want to?
He's not on Lakers.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking shit.
No.
Are they on Houston?
No. It's a team that's above them in the playoffs.
So Phoenix.
Nope.
Lakers.
Nope.
No, it's the Jazz.
Kings.
The
Nope,
Jazz.
it's not the Jazz either.
All right, so it's the
The
Mavericks.
Kings.
It's not the Mavericks
Kings.
either.
That's
Stupid
Pels.
Kings.
Well, I'm only going over
It's
The
the.
not-
Pelicans.
Yes, it's the Pels.
It's not Jordan Hawkins. He
It's
said
not Jordan Hawkins.
Herb
Is
Jones.
it Trey Murphy?
No, neither.
Damn. It's not CJ.
It is CJ.
It is. Go.
Yeah.
Damn.
CJ
No, well.
at 44.3%. He's shooting from three.
God dang.
It's a lot of players that are shooting amazing from three right now. That's crazy. We have a super chat. This is from CRZZ. Hot takes. 1, due to mentality, Embiid is cemented to be Gen Z David Robinson. 2, 2023 Jordan Poole has less utility than 2017 Zaza Pachulia. 3, for New York, Hartenstein over Mitchell Robinson.
Oh,
Disagree, but
what are your thoughts on that?
Hartenstein's been awesome.
Offensively, it's not close. And I think since Hartenstein's playing elite defense, there are times more often than not where I feel like when Hartenstein's in the lineup, things just open up for the Knicks. So I don't think it's crazy. Hartenstein's awesome. He's been playing great basketball.
Calling Embiid Gen Z David Robinson is a compliment.
David Robinson was fucking great.
I don't know exactly what
He
they're
was a
trying to
choker
get.
in his era.
He's still a champion.
I know, but like the perception of him at the time was kind of what the perception of Joel Embiid right now is right now.
I watched David Robinson highlights, and they're insane.
No, for sure. But just like the narrative about him, he didn't win until Tim Duncan got there. And before he got Tim Duncan, the Spurs got Tim Duncan, the Spurs would always be a team that underachieved in the playoffs, and David Robinson would come up short in the playoffs. So I understand what he's saying with the Embiid comparison because it kind of feels like a similar trajectory for the two.
This week in the NBA, talking about a team that you thought would be much better than what they actually are, the Brooklyn fucking Nets. Rest in peace, Biggie Smalls. What a lot's been going on over there. Apparently, Spencer Dinwiddie has lost his role. He's now being played behind Mikal Bridges. In terms of just getting the ball, Mikal, Cam Johnson, and I'm missing somebody. Cam Thomas. Yes. And apparently, he's liked tweets that talked about how something's fishy in Brooklyn. He's apparently quit on the team. You know, it looks like he doesn't want to be there anymore. And it goes to show, like, Brooklyn is 3-14 in their last 17 games. They've been talking about being sellers at the deadline. Some rumors said they're being buyers. They have a lot of players, a lot of teams could literally use. Royce O'Neal, Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges will all be great role players for playoff teams. And seems like everything is coming crashing down to Brooklyn, you know, from trading Kevin Durant last year, you know, a team who we thought could be a real legit team in the East. You know, Kevin Durant and Jack Vaughn, when he first got there, they were playing great basketball. Then they trade Kevin Durant to Phoenix, trade Kyrie to Dallas. Then they kind of go on a little run with Mikal. He kind of shows them maybe this is what I can be. This year he hasn't been as good. And now this is a team that's kind of stuck in the middle because they haven't picked a direction, you know. And being that they haven't picked a direction, they kind of don't know what to do. You know, the deadline is coming up soon. It will be February 8th, if I'm not mistaken, the trade deadline. And I hope Brooklyn finds a direction because keeping all these good players from playing playoff basketball because they will not make the playoffs kind of seems like a shitty move.
You know, it's funny you bring that up as your this week in the NBA because later on when we talk about another topic, we're going to be talking about the Brooklyn Nets also.
Sam Trill sent a super chat. Love y'all, bro. Keep me sane at my job. Y'all keep me sane at my job. Shout out to Sam Trill.
Appreciate you, bro.
For the super chat, we appreciate your viewership. Santos goes, I'm accepting your challenge, but can I get clips from last year?
I'm going to leave that up to Joel.
Also, you saw my video, but can't like it.
Yeah, there was no way.
Saying you're not showing love.
There was no way. Try to snake me. Prick.
Santos, you could do whatever you want. I would prefer it's videos from this year. I mean, is blaming play callers for mid-quarterback play like time dependent? I don't know. Is it? I don't know.
At least if I do it year to year, at least I'm consistent.
I would hope for it to be a recent clip because I feel like it has been, and I remember it from this year. So I would say this. It
better be from the show, Santos. If it's not from the show, I will not be accepting it as valid.
Damian Delgado goes, what would a Grayson Allen trade look like?
one that does not exist.
I don't know why you're trying to move off one of the best role players in the NBA.
Be
right
dumb.
And I feel like this ties in perfectly to Hot and Cold, which is a new segment we're going to be doing weekly for the NBA. In the NBA, everything changes week to week, and there are teams that go on win streaks. There are teams that start losing, and it feels like it happens weekly because the NBA, there's so many games in it. For me, it's the Phoenix Suns, 3-game win streak at the time of this recording. The big three is healthy, and I'm just hoping for the continued health of this big three. If they can play 10 to 15 more games together, I can get a better gauge of what they're going to be. I think the comeback versus the Kings was great, a little bit fluky. They really caught hot in the fourth, but man, if the Suns can get clicking like this, if the big three can get going, and then you have Grayson Allen shooting the way he's shooting, I think these role players are good enough, but the big three have to carry their weight of the team offensively as well. They're playing some good basketball, and I'm just hoping for the continued health of this team.
I'll go next because your team played the team I got. That's Sacramento Kings. It's funny because I tweeted out a couple of weeks ago that the Kings are terrible. This was when they played the Pistons, and they were down big early in the first quarter. I said, I don't even care if they come back and win. I am not moved by the Kings. They've lost 4 in a row, lost 5 of their last 7. 2 wins they have are over the Pistons and the Hornets. Their last win against the top 6 seed in either conference came a month ago, December 14th. They haven't been that great. I think coming into this season, I had higher expectations for them because of what they did in the regular season last year. I saw them similar where I thought they would have a good regular season but struggle again in the postseason just because I didn't know if they were talented enough. And these last couple games have been really bad. Last night they lost against the Pacers to a team without Tyrese, or Siakam hadn't made his debut yet. And the last 2 games, free throws has been a pretty big issue for them. They shot 14 of 32 against the Pacers. They missed 14 free throws and lost that game by 5. And then you mentioned the Suns game. They had that game in the bag. They were up 22 with 8 minutes to go, and the Suns finished the game off on a 23-4 run to win the game. You had KD go off for 15. Grayson hit some shots. Eric Gordon hit a couple threes too. They got really hot from the 3-point line. They went 7 for 11. When you allow that type of shooting, it's going to be hard to win. But this is a team that's struggled in the clutch over this past month of the season. In the last 15 games, they've had 8 clutch games. They're 3-5, which is 7th worst in the NBA. Oof. And the free throws have been an issue because they're 7th highest in free throw rate, but they're shooting just 63% from the line and 18th offensive rating in the clutch. So this team has been keeping it close in some of these games, but down the stretch, even though we've seen Fox have big buckets, Sabonis is having a career year in some aspects, Keegan has improved, Malik Monk should be 6th man of the year conversation. Down the stretch, they haven't been that same team that I think last year that got them to the 3 seed.
The team I wanted to talk about was the Cavaliers, but I'm going to allow my brother in Christ, River Brown, to talk about them.
Talking about a team you don't watch is funny.
That's wrong because when we did the topic list, I should say, me and Joel did the topic list. That was one of the topics I wanted to talk about. Were we wrong about the Cleveland Cavaliers? They've been playing some awesome basketball. Donovan Mitchell brings his season total 28 points per game. He's been awesome. But let me not talk about the Cavaliers. Like I said, that's going to be River Brown. But let me talk about my Lakers, of course, if you're not surprised. 2-game win streak against OKC, against the Mavericks. I look at one thing and one thing only. The fact that Darvin Ham finally decided to wisen up and play the lineup that got us to the WCF, and that is D'Lo, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Jared Vanderbilt, and Anthony Davis. But when I mentioned this weeks ago, they had only accumulated 3 minutes together this season. And I understand that that's due to Vanderbilt's health. But he got healthy, and he still wasn't playing on a consistent basis, especially with those guys. But now Darvin finally had an epiphany, a realization. Let's get back to what's worked. 2 games in a row, we've been playing some great basketball, both of these games without Cam Reddish. And I bring that up because I don't think Cam's a fit for us, unfortunately. He's a great defender, no doubt about it, but his offensive game's such a minus that you can only have one or the other. And I think that on-ball, Jared Vanderbilt is just a little bit better for us. And so I look at just the way that we played against both of these teams. Against the Mavericks, no Exum, no Green, I get that, but Luka Doncic was back. And a big thing that I've said is, The Lakers are going to play excellent basketball. You just need to trust that it's going to hit when it matters most. Don't judge them based off the regular season because constantly people are just going to say, oh, the record. But finally, we had the lineup going that got us some success. And, of course, I understand. I would like to see us in a more comfortable spot. But what matters to me is the playoffs. And I know the Lakers will get there. But just take it easy, relax, allow yourself to reassess the Los Angeles Lakers. Don't allow your bias to come into the conversation because you understand what they can be.
I think just the Lakers need to get into that top 4 or 5 seed.
We were having that conversation. I don't know 4.
Because last year you were 7, correct?
We were 7.
7 this year is not playing Memphis. You're going to be playing Minnesota, OKC, or Denver most likely, or even LA, the Clippers.
I say the series versus the Clippers. Great series. We've played well against them in the season.
God, we're crazy.
5 games you guys would win? Yeah, it's foolish. Because when you
Clippers?
5 games.
you play us at full strength, you guys lost.
You just said
said you
regular
beat them
season
at
don't
5?
matter.
No, I understand, but
Wait,
we're
you
going
said you
off
beat
what
them
we
in
matched.
5?
It's
Clippers,
5
yeah.
games. That's ridiculous.
Maybe
I would say
6.
6.
See, you're just being nice. That means they get the game 5 and the
LeBron,
game 6 we
AD.
ended. Yeah. We're like so much better than the Lakers.
I think they're a better team than you guys.
Like good amount.
I think the Clippers are playing some great ball, but we understand
When's
what
the
happens
last time you
come
guys
playoff
played Lakers and Clippers?
That was
It
like
was
a week
couple
ago.
week ago. Yeah.
Do any of us generally think the Lakers are doing anything in the playoffs this year?
Us or him? You should really ask him.
Well,
that
here's the
question.
thing. I'm rooting for my Lakers. I do. I will always root for them.
Should never.
Do I understand that you look at some of these top teams, specifically the Thunder, the Nuggets,
Why'd you let me
respect
single
to
out
the
the Clippers,
Wolves,
though?
the
I don't like
Clippers?
that.
I was going over all of them. You just interrupted.
I think a simpler question is like, is it a lot to ask of the Lakers to go
Of
on
LeBron.
a deep playoff run, given the roster they have?
I wouldn't say that. I think that last year you saw what we can do when we do have this lineup. It was just a matter of when the fuck is Darvin Ham going to put it back out on the ball court? So finally now we're starting to see it, and back-to-back we see it translate into wins. Just don't make judgments off of December, January games.
But don't you think it's like starting off slow is not the ideal move?
I'm with you. As a fan watching, I don't like to see us come out the gate slow, but it's just been a history of ours. But we do come correct late in the game. We could struggle in the first half, but in that second half, we're going to turn it on. Against the Mavericks, that wasn't the case. Against the Thunder, that wasn't the case. So that's always a great note. But again, it starts with what line's being put out there. I don't know if Cam Reddish will be on this team or if he's going to be seeing a good amount of minutes when he is back from injury, because I just personally don't think he's a good fit for us. We need to limit the lack of shooting that's on the court at all times. D'Angelo Russell, it helps that he's been playing some awesome basketball for us recently. Reeves is getting back into the swings of things. I don't want to look too much into it, but I don't know if Austin Reeves loves Darvin Ham. Even though Darvin Ham obviously been the coach that has been in the time where, you've just been playing with Austin's minutes too much. You know that Austin, at least I believe, Austin is the third most important player on our team 100%. If we want to do something. I think D'Lo is definitely in that conversation too, but for how much on-ball responsibility he has, I think that it's imperative we get him out there. He's been struggling a little bit from three-point range, but his shot diet's still great that he's still shooting almost 50% from the field. I think that we need that one real on-ball perimeter defender. That is Jared Vanderbilt. Ideally, he knocks down a couple of threes. But Anthony Davis has been such a force defensively and offensively. I mean, I can't speak enough about how great Anthony Davis has been this season. But again, just put hate aside. Understand the Lakers will be okay.
That was a nice monologue you did, Drew. And, you guys have been dealing with some injuries for sure, and you couldn't really get over the hump and deal with the adversity. But another team, another team that's been dealing with a lot of really a shit ton of adversity is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Coming off a pretty death-defying, disappointing playoff series in which they got absolutely butt-fucked by the New York Knicks. It was just embarrassing from all facets. They got out physical. Like, they was just outmanned, outmatched. They just couldn't do anything with them. They needed to make some changes. And in the offseason, they grabbed a couple of known shooters in Niang, Max Strus, and
Twinsky went crazy.
And they felt like, all right, we made a good enough moves of what we can do this offseason. Let's try to make a run. Then, to start the season off, Jared Allen misses some time, right? And then Garland, he gets hit in his face in the Toronto game, right?
Broken jaw, right?
Yeah, some shit like his face looked all fucked up. So then they then they come back. And then Darius Garland and Mobley go down. And then you just see this team battered with injuries from their star players. And then Donovan Mitchell says, this one's for them, 11-3 in their last 14, and they're not world beaters. They haven't beaten the greatest competition, but it's about the chemistry. And I think that's, and JB Bickerstaff, he was talking about it in his postgame. That's the one thing he kept highlighting is the fact that the chemistry on this team, like they genuinely like each other inside and outside, off the court, on the court. And that's something that's keeping it alive. And, I got some stats to back that up because I felt like I had to go in my stat bag for this.
Sometimes you got to.
For sure. In November, the Cavaliers ranked 19th in offensive rebounding percentage, 27.7. And 21st in overall rebounding percentage, 49.7. For December, there was improvement. They averaged 32.2 in offensive rebound percentage and 8th overall, which is good. But in January, 5 games, they've ranked 3rd in offensive rebounding percentage, and that's 2nd overall, which can go into the fact that they're playing hard for each other. They're playing together for each other. They've definitely been more, I'm going to go to war for my brother next to me. So I think another stat, of course, the Cavs averaged 14 second chance points, which ranked 20th in November, 18th, which was 1st in December, and 20th, which was 1st in January so far. So they've upped the second chance points. They've upped the rebounding, which I think has been just important. And then, of course, in December, they did a big emphasis on three-point shooting. In November, average of 30.1 three-point attempts per game. December, it jumped up to 41.2. In January, hovering around 39.6. So they've just been saying, fuck it, we're going to pull the trigger. I mean, you paid all these guys to shoot. Sam Merrill has jumped into the lineup. He's been shooting it at a good clip. And I think this Cavs team, well, they may not be world beaters, in the East where you look at Boston, they're the only team that's probably like the consensus best in the league. You look at all these other teams, they all have something to figure out. And for a Cavs team that wants to keep Donovan Mitchell, for a Cavs team that wants to continue to get better, continue to improve, this is the East where you're faced with Indiana and Halley and Siakam. You got Jalen Brunson, the Knicks. You have to go toe-to-toe with these guys. You need your guys to be healthy, and you also need your role players to step up, and I think the Cavs have done that.
My hesitancy on the Cavaliers right now, and I hate to burst your bubble, but it kind of signifies to me that Mitchell is better when he's not playing with Garland, and Allen is better when he's not playing with Mobley.
And Garland's better when he's not playing with Mitchell.
And when they all play together, the fit is odd. So when they're actually all healthy, I don't know what this group truly
sucks.
is.
The reason I disagree with you is because Donovan Mitchell statistically his numbers don't go super up without Darius Garland. And the only thing I disagree on that part is I think they can play together. JB and them both together just haven't figured out the proper way to play together. I think they do have the styles where they can play together, they can play different roles. They just haven't fully found it. And it could be a short situation where Mitchell could leave this offseason and never figure it out. But I don't know. They won a shit ton of games when all 5 of them were healthy last year. And this year, of course, they've been dealing with the injury bug, so it probably looks that way, and it's not a bad take to have. But Jared Allen, JB Bickerstaff needs to find a way to get Jared Allen more involved in the offense. When Evan Mobley gets back, he needs to find a way to get this backcourt to coexist.
He's been amazing.
If he doesn't, then, of course, that looks like shit.
We're grinding. Got the shit up already. We're recording right now.
I know.
Look at us.
Jess just sent it to me.
Jess is grinding.
Shout out Jess.
She was grinding. She was she made the thumbnails and she made
Shout out
the
to Jess for
graphics.
doing her job, man.
Shout out to Jess.
The whole team works here, man.
You
The whole
really?
team works.
We all working.
Oh, now he's deflecting on you.
I
Whoa.
feel like I'm here, doing my prize picks, and somebody just can't do it.
Wow.
I haven't done prize picks since we started.
Haven't done anything from what I love.
I'm not able to.
Yeah,
I don't appreciate this right here.
it's okay.
Riv,
though.
you have at least a month that you can't talk shit about other people.
That's just not my character. It's just not in my nature, But
I feel like you guys are gonna be surprised at my pick for the worst GM job in the league. My pick is the Golden State Warriors.
I have the same pick.
I think it's the worst
sure.
GM job in the league.
That was a real abrupt change to it. But I will say, mine was the Brooklyn Nets.
Let's have some fun.
I don't think that there's the Wizards were an obvious one also because it's like
Ignoring
that direction's
them,
tough.
yeah.
But of teams that are like mediocre, why would I want the Nets job? They're the team of very great role players. Like they have some really great role players, but no real stars. And I say that with respect to Mikal Bridges. No picks in this upcoming draft. Yikes. How do we get better here? What's the plan of getting better if I'm the Brooklyn Nets? How do I build a contending team? You once were at the mountaintop. You had KD, Kyrie, James Harden. You turned that into this. It hasn't been an ideal situation for the Brooklyn Nets. They're the epitome of average, unfortunately, and it's a team that's not going to get much better quickly.
I do think the Nets are the worst GM job. Golden State, the only thing that stops me from saying that is if the day comes, this is if Steph Curry ever gets moved. You could get a haul for Steph Curry, and you
That
can
ain't
at least
happening.
set
He'll
yourself
die?
up for the
That's
future.
Bro,
You
not
saw the only
happening.
person. I think you sent that to me. The only person to hit up Bob Myers for Steph Curry was Danny Ainge.
Yeah. That's the only thing because
He's an idiot.
He's
I
funny.
mean, listen, if Steph, maybe he just wants to
That's
ride it
bad
out with the
food.
He's
Warriors.
funny.
But I mean, you're gonna go how many years? Steph's gonna be like,
Dehls.
I don't want to think about that. Steph is gonna dirk.
Dehls,
it.
you're smart. You're smart. You're very like I consider you one of the smartest men I've ever met. You know, Steph is the one dude that would never get moved. Like
He
ever.
no,
He's
but
not.
I think it's more so Steph saying no than the front. If I'm the front office,
You
bro,
think the
keep it a
front
stack.
office would move Steph?
No. Steph would go to the front office and
That's
say,
the only
not
way.
that type of guy.
The front office would never do it. But
Oh,
I'm
if-
saying if Steph was like, listen,
Shit, if
we've
Steph
had
ain't
a
asked
great
Clay to-
run.
if
It
Steph
would be
ain't asked
best
Clay
for
to
me to
go
move
yet-
on. It would be best for you to move on. You get a hole there.
Steph ain't
That's
asked
the only.
Clay to go yet. He probably gonna
Steph
stay
is a
forever,
warrior
man.
for life. He's
Probably.
retiring with that team.
All I'm saying is, crazier happen. Crazier
He
things happen.
loves those crazy things.
Crazy
people
things
thought
happen.
Tony Parker would retire Spur.
You're cooking.
I mean, shit happens all the
That's a
time.
little
Went to
different.
Charlotte.
Yeah,
No,
it is, it
so
is.
much
Because
different.
Tim Duncan retired at Spur,
Well, that
and that's the Steph.
no, most definitely. Tony Parker had some years.
Curry's
being the
just
best on the
accomplished-
team.
He's accomplished so much. I think his legacy solidified to the point where it's nice to go get another ring, but he doesn't need to. You know, I think the moment that solidified his legacy was winning without Kevin Durant. Once he won that, once he got the Finals MVP, he got the monkey off his back.
Is it wrong that? Let me
I
not.
want another one.
Let me not. That's what I'm saying.
I
Like,
want another
I'm a
one so
LeBron
bad.
fan.
Steph's got to be there thinking like, I can
No, he
go out
wants
like
another
this.
one. He
Yeah.
wants another one.
LeBron's legacy cemented
He may not.
similarly
He
to
may not
Steph.
need it, but same thing with
He
LeBron.
wants
Same
it.
thing. Same thing
Of
with
course
Kevin
he wants
Durant.
it. But does he want it enough to say, I want to move my family out of this, out
Just
of
never
where
been that
my home has
character.
been since I've got drafted?
LeBron
I
said,
don't
"I'm
think so.
gone from Cleveland."
he's made
LeBron was
multiple
taking
moves.
2-year deals between every stop.
Here's how I look at it. And Dehls,
Legend.
Smart.
Smart.
You didn't say nothing crazy. The only difference is that's not Steph's character. It's never been like with LeBron.
But the team's also been insane for,
Yeah.
you know.
And you know what?
last
I feel
decade.
like-
LeBron, it was easy to kind of
Yes.
predict when he was gonna move on because he's a yo.
Yes.
If you ain't gonna do this, I'm out. Like I don't give a fuck about that. I ain't got no real.
But
like,
also, those Cavs teams weren't as
love 'em,
competitive
man.
as
for
the,
sure.
as
But
the
there's
Warriors
been
have
Steph years where he it hasn't
was
been
like
those
2
crazy.
years, bro.
Yeah, it hasn't been no
It
crazy.
was like 2 years over a 10-year period.
I feel like
They
the
had a 4-year
difference
run.
between I
then
feel
they
like the
came back and
difference.
won a chip.
That wasn't a bomb squad.
Huh?
That wasn't a bomb.
No,
squad.
it wasn't. But you were
The year that
competing.
you guys won.
Yeah, 2022.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
no,
No,
KD.
It was an awesome team though.
I mean,
think-
that's like the foundational Golden State Warriors team that we
That
knew.
was the team that won a chip before KD.
Wouldn't say we loved, but we knew.
We love that team. 2022.
Y'all love them. Y'all.
It was a great team.
It was,
It was a great
everybody had
team.
fun. We
It was
had
a
the
good
pool
team.
parties.
I'll say this: I appreciate, I
Last
respect
three-
that
Listen,
championship.
man, he hated.
I'm no,
Mickey
whoa, whoa!
Mouse.
I never say I love the Warriors. I'll be dead before that happens.
Me too.
I respect the hell out of y'all for that chip.
sick
That's
of this
easily
guy.
the
I'm
most
sick of
meaningful
this
chip
guy,
in Steph
man.
Curry's career, in my opinion.
I think there's a difference between LeBron and Steph in the fact that
Even Kevin Durant, the snake.
LeBron wanted to chase Michael Jordan.
you're right.
LeBron wanted to be the best player ever. He wanted to be viewed as that. I think Steph Curry is too far along that pathway to get to that point.
He already thinks he's better than Magic. He has nothing.
And honestly, bro, the public perception on Steph versus Magic is Steph. You know, that's the public
Is it?
perception. Yes,
the new media, yeah.
I would say
For
this
sure.
generation undoubtedly.
for sure.
The old guys still think, Magic, but it's not right. Like Steph is like,
Magic had some good.
and I
aura.
agree with you.
He's 1A, 1B point guard of all time. It doesn't matter.
I think all three of us are kind of in line because I think what Dehls says kind of goes into what me and Joel are saying, why that's the worst GM spot, because they're in a position where they can't move off of Steph. Like, there's just no way you will go to Steph and be like, we kind of want to trade you. And
can't
at the
move
same
off of
time,
Clay,
you can't
Dre.
move off Clay and Drake because Steph won't allow you to.
Yes.
And now, after they leave, you kind of ain't going to have shit
So
to really
Steph's
build
fucking
on.
you.
Low key, but he's earned enough to fuck you.
Yeah, okay.
So it's
That's
like,
valid.
he's done enough where he
That's
can just
valid.
fuck you and you can just go about your way.
with the Warriors GM job, I just think that the ending of dynasties are ugly. They
Yep.
always
This one's
end
gonna get
poorly. You see how it ended with the Patriots dynasty with Tom Brady and Bill
Would you
Belichick.
say the
That
Spurs
slip up.
ended ugly? I would say no, personally.
Because the
How
GOAT
did it
left
really
'cause
end?
Tim Duncan left first.
Correct. Which is why I say no.
I don't know if it ended
Would you
terribly.
say the Celtics ended ugly? I would say no.
I think
With the Ray Allen shit?
No, with
that wasn't a dynasty.
Wait.
You're talking about Larry Bird,
Oh, you're saying
Why
80s.
isn't that a dynasty? They won
Paul
3 chips.
Pierce and Ray Allen.
No,
and
I'm not
KG.
talking
You're
about
about the
Bird
80s?
and them.
Yeah.
Larry Bird. That's why I said Larry Bird.
It's
Yeah.
a different time.
but it didn't end ugly.
No, because they retired.
I don't know,
Different
bro.
time.
That's way behind my
Bird
time.
messed up his
I have
back,
No
you know.
idea.
I mean, just as a historian, you should just know, yeah, he got hurt, and then obviously they went around their way. Same with the Lakers.
The big three in Boston, though, ended ugly.
For most definitely.
Lakers
But
big-
that's not a dynasty.
No, I'm just saying, like, teams that, like, the end of an era. Like,
The
they weren't a
Lakers ended up
dynasty,
ugly.
The 2009, 2010 ones?
No, the Shaq and Kobe one ended ugly.
I
They-
agree.
like,
Yes.
the big three wasn't a dynasty, but they were together for a while.
Would
The
you call
Bulls
the
ended ugly.
2009? Most definitely. Good point.
So we talking about the Bulls, the
And Steve Kerr
Lakers,
might get fired this offseason.
and then the Warriors. We talking about
Three of the best.
yes,
Fair point.
dynasties
Fair
of this
point.
era ending
Can't
ugly.
wait.
And if you're, like right now, if you're the GM of the Warriors, the organization
Dunleavy.
is very much it's player run.
He needs to go too.
The
He just got there.
Yeah, he did.
Literally just got.
But he's just the face, bro. He's just the face.
Steph Curry
And
runs the
that's why I think
organization.
Bob Myers stepped down because Bob Myers wasn't able to do
No,
what
Bob
he wanted.
Myers was bad. He won a chip.
No, he wasn't.
I don't
I mean,
think he
the
was.
draft. I think the
Bad
draft
is
picks.
fake.
don't
That's
seem to look
crazy.
at it.
He was good. He wasn't great. He was good.
He realized, yo, I
He may not have
sold
been
my
good in draft.
soul for this championship, even though it was really Steph Curry.
Talk to me. Why was he bad? I'm going to hear. Why was he bad?
The draft picks really are why
Is
I
it-
look
is the
at it like
Wiseman
it's
one
bad.
that really
Wiseman, Kuminga,
But he was
Moody.
good on picking up free agents.
They
Yes,
did
he
get
was.
Under the radar free
Yes, he
agents.
was.
Minimum guys,
But
that's-
drafting,
He wasn't that
he's
drafted.
not that
That's what I'm
good.
saying. He's
Did
not
he
bad.
not draft Steph
Jerry,
and Dre?
no, Jerry West did
No,
that.
he didn't draft.
Jerry
didn't
West
draft
did
them?
that. That's why Jerry West is the GOAT. By far the best. Bob Myers gets respect for the
He's
championship.
good. He's not bad. I would say he's good.
All right, I can level.
He's good.
He's definitely, he was not one of the greatest GMs.
No.
He gave some bad contracts that ended up biting you in the ass. But the
he
GOAT for
won.
well, I still think Clay's not that great of a contract.
We didn't pay him yet.
Wiggins,
they
not that
paid him-
great of a
That's not fair.
contract.
They paid him and then he tore his ACL.
Nah, bro.
Twice.
Bob Myers drafted Draymond, Harrison Barnes, and Kayvon Looney.
Was he there or did he draft
No,
them?
he drafted them.
He was
there's
the
an
GM?
there's an there's an
I
article
thought it
called
was,
"The Architect of the Golden State Era."
I thought it was somebody else.
Jerry West.
I didn't know
Steph,
Bob.
no, Draymond was after them.
No, Bob drafted Dre and Clay. He didn't draft Steph.
No, I didn't say he drafted
Oh,
Steph.
who'd you say?
I'm saying Draymond, Harrison Barnes,
yes.
Looney.
That's what I thought you said. No, he didn't draft Steph though. Somebody
Yeah.
else drafted Steph.
Jerry West was the Golden State Warriors
no, he said
GM
Draymond-
from 11
So these are the
through
moves that
17.
Bob Myers has made. He drafted Draymond Green. He traded for Andre Iguodala.
Yeah, that was a good move. Great move.
He drafted Harrison Barnes.
And gave up. No, that
drafted
was a
Kayvon
really
Looney.
good one.
He picked up Sean Livingston.
He was the one to bring on Steve Kerr
right.
to the team, which is the system that's what led them
He's
to
good.
explode. They signed Kevin Durant. They traded for Andrew Wiggins.
Was he just in house when this all happened?
He might have been in house.
No, he was a GM.
No, the GM was Jerry West.
Wait, for the Warriors.
Yes.
2009.
Yeah, 2009.
That's when Steph was drafted.
He's talking about Dre and them.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
talking
after.
about,
I understand.
Yeah.
And I don't think Jerry West was ever the GM. He was just a consultant for the team.
No, he was the GM if I'm not mistaken.
I think he was the GM for the Clippers.
No, he left the Warriors to go to the Clippers.
Ah,
Oh, was he a GM of the Warriors?
I don't think he was. Let me check. Let me
he was
look
in
at the
house. I
general
know he
manager.
was in house.
Yeah, he was a consultant. All right, so the GM, Bob Myers, 2013 to 2021.
Larry Riley.
2010 to 2012, Larry Riley. 2005 to 2009, Chris
Because
Smoke.
it
Bob
says
Myers.
Golden State Warriors executive Jerry West will be ending his 6-year run with the team
Executive.
that helped
Executive
that
is
he
not a
helped
GM.
create.
Executive is just you're part of the front office.
executive
but
is
you're
not a
the
GM.
I mean, I'm sure he had a big impact. He was giving his
It was
voice,
definitely in
opinion,
there.
but
Consult. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the.
They're saying he was a consultant, but has had a significant role with the
probably
Yeah,
operation.
no
should.
doubt.
Yeah.
He just like he had
Sorry,
one with
'cause
the Clippers too.
Wrong of me.
No, you're good.
Wrong of me to say that I credit Jerry West more so for the success of.
He was probably in there
Of
because he
Bob.
thinks highly of Steph. So
He
he's
had
right
a
there.
role. Bob Myers, he didn't draft Clay or Steph, but everybody after that he did. And those I mean,
he was an advisor to the owner. That's what I just looked it up.
the
Like,
Warriors
your
had
buddies.
some of the
Yeah.
best
Come
benches
work and
of
I'll
our
give you 100K
era.
or whatever you got.
Maurice Space, Sean
benches were
Livingston,
lit.
Landry Barbosa.
David West.
Yeah.
Yeah, you draft Festus Zilli was good for a time.
David Lee was good for them.
let me not disrespect Bob then. Most definitely.
I think bad
Pay
is
him
a
his
stretch.
respect.
Good
no
is
doubt.
for sure the word.
Because then when the going got tough, he was
It
gonzo.
was wild how he left us.
I think he left though because
for
he
8-9
knows
years.
The wrong guy
there's
left.
nothing to do.
We know who should have left.
Ah, the other guy pulling the strings.
Yeah, the real puppet master here.
I feel like Bob Myers just didn't want to be a puppet. He wanted to have a say and make decisions. And I think Mike Dunleavy doesn't have that power. Like that's why the Warriors GM job is bad to me because the players have the pull. If Steph says you're not trading Clay and Dre, you're not trading them.
Yeah.
So you have no way to build the roster in the way that you want to build it.
If you say that the players had the most pull, let's say for 2022, right? it was still good enough to get you a championship.
But all the moves leading up to that were made by the
Do
executive.
you guys think we could have had a better package than what the Pacers gave? What the Pacers gave Toronto?
No, I don't know. They said that the Warriors offered a package and that Toronto wasn't interested.
But because they didn't want to put Kuminga in the deal.
Well, it's 3 picks, Bruce. You would think. I
think,
guess
right?
it depends how they value those young players. How they feel about Moody. How they feel about
I was going to
Kuminga.
say, y'all don't even have your first round pick this year.
It's protected. We have the next one the year after that and like 2 more.
Okay.
The other bad thing about the job is that you now have the responsibility to live up to a dynasty. Yeah. That's the worst part of the job.
You got to start from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. Are we going to go into the next era of Warriors basketball? Be like, if they don't win a dynasty, if they don't get dynasty again, it's over.
To be fair, just don't take this as disrespect. Okay, please don't.
I'm not.
I feel as though it's different as opposed to like the Boston era with Paul Pierce and them transition into the Tatum era. Why it's like they don't have to live up to too much because Boston, the big three, underachieved. Yeah. So they don't have to go in there because it's always well, this group was here. What can you do for me? You know what I'm saying?
It's about expectations.
For sure, but the expectations is, and that's the thing. The expectations for y'all is just get to the finals, get to the
Fans
finals,
expect
get to the finals.
something, though,
They
too.
expect you to get there. But for the Warriors now, the expectation is going to be, well, we need to see 2 chips. What's the expectation for the Lakers every year? Win, chip.
Same with the Celtics.
To a degree, but it's not as
at this
broader.
point. At
this point now,
it's
yeah.
chip,
but
chip,
before
chip.
it wasn't
It's
like
been chip. Prior for
2 years.
2
2
years.
yeah, like that's it. But the Warriors is going to be like, we chip, ring.
I think that lull period the Lakers had after Kobe retired is going to be what the Warriors are going to go through for like a 5-year
Robert
stretch.
Sala.
Yeah, you're not gonna have anything. How am I expecting you to win a chip and you don't got a top 10 player?
I'm not saying I win a
Fans are
championship, but I think they're going to be like very uncompetitive.
That Lakers draft after Kobe retired, it's laid the foundation for them to win a championship.
They drafted Ingram, Julius
Lonzo,
Randle, D'Lo.
Kuz. They really, OD.
It was great to trade those players.
Josh
because
Hart
that
was another
never-
one.
Randall is in Lonzo class, or was he before?
No, they're
No, before. No, Randall played with Kobe.
No, yeah, he got hurt. I'm saying
the first year.
Question: does Steve Kerr get re-signed? This is last year on his deal.
Oh, you should tell me.
No, I'm asking you guys. I know where I want to go.
He's not going to come back.
Yeah, you
I think he'll find another job.
So you don't
somewhere
think you think Steph's gonna vouch for Clay and Dre, but he's not gonna vouch for Steve?
I think
Or you think Dunleavy's gonna be like, listen,
Yo, you're
one
really
thing's
this
gotta
done
go.
with Kerr.
no. I think what I was gonna say was because you said he's gonna find another job. I do think he does retire and like take a year or 2 off. I do think he does that. Yeah, I think he does take a year.
He's
or 2
not
off.
going to go to a situation where.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna go right away to another player. I think he'll take some time off. But if Steph does vouch, we're fucked because he's gonna get re-signed in a heartbeat.
You have no loyalty.
You have not watched every game.
I understand that. I I have not watched
It's just
every
like,
game.
but I don't
that
wanna-
being said, you're disrespecting the
don't-
guy who came
No,
in and
no.
changed it.
It's to see. Here's the problem. You want me to be loyal, but you got to change with the NBA.
He won 2 years
I
ago.
wa-
Give
no,
him a break.
The only dude I'm loyal to, is
You're
Steph
crazy.
Curry.
Who
Everybody else-
also has been a constant in that, though?
Drake can stay. I don't have a problem with Drake staying.
Steve Kerr.
Steve Kerr and Clay can go.
Yeah, you're getting.
We're trying to get
rude.
better.
You know, it's funny because there's a lot of Warriors fans that I see online, and they're loyal to Clay and Steve Kerr and just the foundation of
seen?
the team.
I know
I've
Frank
seen it.
doesn't like Steve Kerr.
I've
I've seen
I've
Kerr.
seen-
They want Kerr. They loyal to Clay.
I get it.
But I've seen Kerr. They want Kerr gone.
The thing is, I understand
Well,
wanting
Clay
Kerr
gone
gone.
too.
I've been wanting Clay going on. for
I
a
think
minute.
it's fine.
You would
to
have
get
had
both
him
of
gone in
them
2017.
Loki.
You need to try something new with Steph.
Dehls,
While
thank
we
you.
know Steph is still a great player, a
can't
top
keep-
5 player in the world, like you need to try something with Steph because you can't try something 3 years from now. If Steph's not a top 5 player, it's not
You
gonna
can't
matter.
keep gutting out these roles. Have this old ass nigga running around doing this at 30. He's gonna be 37. You can't keep doing this.
Kind of falling off.
Like he's falling off in the team's ass.
Yeah.
You got to put a good why you got to put a good team around him so he can still give you those elite performances.
I'm just
everybody
joking
got
about
a
it
star
falling
player, but Steph. What they kept saying, Kevin Durant got these dudes, LeBron got AD. With Steph, we got.
When you search up Steve Kerr Warriors Reddit, the top results are Steve Kerr needs to be fired. Fire Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr needs to be fired. Part 3. Who's the most annoying head coach and why is it Steve Kerr?
I'm crying.
Yeah, man.
Warriors fans are fed up. I get it.
I'm looking at one of these subreddits. The top comment was Moody had 9 straight for them and he pulls them. Unbelievable.
That was
remember
that was the moment where
That was
I
the Kings game, right?
I feel like
Yes.
Harris had
That was a
Kings.
so many like nationally
He has,
televised
he has
bad
blunders
moves.
sometimes. He does have blunders.
damn, you really were ahead of your time saying that Darvin Ham and Steve Kerr were
Toss up.
thinking that.
Cooked.
the other top comment.
And then they try to say that was me. I should have accepted. I should have said yes, that was me. Darvin
I've been
and
telling
Steve
you
Kerr
about
are
this
the
guy
same.
for years, man. I just don't be listening.
There's
to
another top comment here. He goes, damn it, I want Mike Brown back, but if we can't have him, I want his right-hand man, Jordy Fernandez.
Mike Brown would have been dope. I ain't gonna front.
Mike Brown
The
would've
top
been a
comment
OD
here was,
coach.
Kerr didn't do that because the lineup was rolling and yet they still lose with no changes at all. I think this was talking about the Nuggets game.
I remember that
Yes.
game. Yeah, that was another
So
one.
what's out there for the Warriors now this season? Is it just we run this lineup? Like, Siakam, OG's gone.
They missed out on Siakam.
Missed out on
OG's gone. They're not gonna get Laurie.
But that's the thing,
DeJounte
that-
doesn't really.
Zach is due for
seem-
40 a year. You know,
That's
what?
another part of the Warriors thing is because Siakam didn't want to go to the Warriors. I seen that report out there.
Who would want to go there?
And that's the thing is,
If you're a real number two, you can
He
play
didn't want to go to the
with,
Kings either.
it's a high
Which
pressure
I
situation.
disagree with.
But
No, the fit with Sabonis
Nah.
is awkward.
no, he said something. It was a report that came out that something in the front office soured him up, and he didn't want to go there.
Interesting.
They probably weren't fully committed in paying him. I do think the fit between Sabonis and him is a little bit weird, though. I think Indiana was
I
the
wouldn't
best
have paid him either if I was
spot for him.
Sacramento.
Indiana was perfect.
Yeah,
It was
Sacramento. I
perfect.
keep my flexibility.
I think it's even better than Dallas. I do. Dallas has just been the star power aspect of it.
That Keegan Fox Sabonis trio is fire.
It's okay.
It's fire.
It's cool.
Throw some respect on Keegan.
I like Keegan.
So it's
And they're
not
young.
fire because it's Sabonis.
No, it's cool. Like it's cool.
It's respectable.
Yeah,
And Fox is shooting almost 40.
yeah, it's good. You have him as a first round exit. So
Said
cool.
who?
I'm actually.
Kings.
Probably.
Fuck
Ah,
yeah.
damn. I thought you were gonna go all the way with it.
Nah. I just
This
respect
ain't that
Sabonis.
cool to you either.
Sabonis has been my guy for years.
Yeah, that's true.
You
Too
think
early.
pick a side? I was.
Too early, man.
I wouldn't say too early. Right on time.
No, you were too early.
Well, was Sabonis and the Kings when the trade happened?
No,
I
you-
said I like the move.
I think you were too early with your Joker take.
No, that was again never early. What is it?
If you would have said it last
Never
year,
wrong, just early.
There it is. That's
Yes.
it.
that's why I said he was too early.
Would you say I was too early
I think
Which
you were
take was
a-
this?
You
with the
said
poor
it-
man
You said when he was
Sabonis?
in Indiana.
You said it like a year. I think you said it a year or months before the trade happened. to
Yeah,
the Kings.
you said it early. You didn't say it when he was on the Kings.
No, when he was on the Pacers, yeah,
Yeah.
I was tuned in.
That's what I'm saying.
That's when I was respecting the Pacers too much.
I don't really feel like he played that well in the Pacers though.
But again,
That's why I'm saying he was too
but
early.
my
Yeah.
thing was I wasn't saying that he was this elite player. What I was saying was
run with it. You did say that.
no. What I
you
said
did.
was his
You said
play
elite.
style was no. I said his
I'm
play
trying to get
style
him in.
was that of Jokic.
Bro, seen two Europeans and said,
I respect that.
I was right.
I respect that.
I was trying to get.
"Hey, that's what I do with Operation Shingun.
Porzingis
the
is
next
15
count.
in the first quarter.
It's Jokic, Sabonis, and Shingun.
You hit on one European.
Shingun.
Yes,
Josh Giddey's playing better.
somewhat better. He's so
playing.
bad.
He's playing a bit better.
A little
He is.
bit.
They call him Giddy Hustle.
They booed him.
Did you know
You
that?
know what's crazy?
No,
The
Giddy
difference.
hustle.
The difference in lineup between Isaiah Joe and Giddy is nuts.
Yeah, Isaiah Joe is.
I've
really
only
impactful
heard
for
them boo him, so I don't know.
They have like 800 more possessions with Giddy than Isaiah Joe, though.
Well, I don't know if the announcers were just glazing him, or I don't know if it was the OKC announcers or the Jazz announcers.
Giddy also
but
sounds cool. I'll be honest.
yesterday they said, "Oh, Giddy Hustle."
Yeah.
And he was like diving for a ball, like diving for a loose ball. So, Giddy Hustle. It's not a terrible nickname.
It's
It
not
sounds
great.
cool.
It's not.
It's
Great.
not terrible.
Could be better.
Bryson Parker Cartagena goes, much love to y'all. Favorite sports podcast across all platforms.
Hey,
Can't
go
wait for
Jokes.
the merch drop next month.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Drew. Bro was getting dog piled for mentioning Ronnie
Shout out my
Bell.
dog Ronnie.
He went to Michigan.
It
I
was
saw the
supposed to be
comments
this-
saying that's
this
why.
It was supposed to be this insane snowstorm, and once again,
We got
fumbled.
like 2-3 inches.
You wanted a
I'm not
snowstorm?
mad.
No, but I wanted you. If they gonna call us out of work because they canceled our game.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, they called us out of work half day, and there's no snowstorm.
bad
At least,
water's
like,
done.
let it happen.
I see.
getting
It's
it
about
up.
keeping y'all safe, though, you know?
I respect it, but damn, y'all
And
gotta
the
be better with
kids.
the weather.
And the kids.
They gotta be better with the weather report.
Meteorologists definitely are hit or miss.
They missed like fuck. It snowed for 5 minutes, like little
It's hard.
flurries.
It was like an hour of snow.
Mid.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the Pick a Side Podcast, episode 345.
What's
You
that
guys can
400,
follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast,
halfway
on
there.
Twitter at Pick a Side Pod. Merch drop February 3rd. 1 p.m. Make sure you guys click the link in the bio. Not now, but maybe a couple hours after the episode ends, I will be putting the description of the mailing list. So just go there, put your email in so we have you guys listed down. And then when we drop, the email will be sent out to you
Yep.
guys. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.